I've said this ad nauseum in here. Every stadium on the road in this conference is a monster. Like every home game or every road game that we play is sold out. Everywhere the crowd is all over your ass the moment you get off the bus. Like, it's just part of playing in this conference, right? So, like, we expect that. We know it's going to be a rowdy crowd. It's a 6 o'clock game. We know how passionate they are about their football there, and they've got a really good football team, right? So, really, for us, it's how much can we lock into handling every piece of our process with the right mindset, with the right, discipline as we lead up to getting ready for game time.
And again, I mentioned, guys, sometimes these games are easier than others, but you're going right into a den. Normally, it is a den of Cardinal, because their colors are Cardinal and gold, just like the rival Arizona State Sun Devils. But today, it's going to be a sea of white in Ames, Iowa.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know about you, Kelvin, but I love going to places like that. Going to places that are going to be packed. We did that against LSU. At that time, they had the third largest crowd in LSU history when we played there. It was, it's exciting. You can't. There's no reason for you not to get up. I was up all night last night. Yeah. I was excited about the game today. I told TK when I came in, I said, man, I'm excited about the game today. I couldn't wait for this game. So if you're a player, you got to be looking forward to be able to perform on this kind of stage. And this is what you come here to play football for.
Exactly. And what you're talking about is that you're 3-0 at home. So you've done what you could do at home. You're not 1-2. You're not 2-1. You're 3-0 at home. So now the only thing to prove is that you can win on the road. Yep. And if you're a team that want to win, that want to go to bowl games and put yourself in situations where you compete for championships, you want to go perform on the road. You understand where you want to get to. Winning bowl games is not going to be at your house.
Yes,
you're going to have to go on the road to be able to get it done. So this is an opportunity to go play somebody else in their own backyard and all come together and beat everybody in their city. Because to me, it was bigger than just beating the team. I want to beat your city. I want everybody sad when we're walking through the airport. Everywhere we're going, I want them to make, man, them Wildcats just beat us up over here. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You don't want the post-game drinks to be happy drinks.
I want them to be tears in their coffee.
We thought we had a team.
Yeah, exactly.
We thought we had a team. Yeah. Well, they think they've got a pretty good quarterback there for sure in Ames, Iowa. His name is Rocco Beck, and he can throw the ball around the park, that's for sure. Let's hear from the defensive coordinator, Mr. Danny Gonzalez, who, of course, if you've never heard him, he likes to talk. He talked about Rocco Beck and this Iowa State offensive line that his defense is going to have to contend with today.
Rocco Beck, 31 starts, 22-9 as a starter. Okay, like, this dude does not make mistakes. He's very dangerous with his feet. He's 28 for 47 yards, like rushing right now with 20 carries, but he has 91 gained yards. He's been sacked 6 times for minus 41 yards. His ability to run the ball, especially on short down and distances, is uncanny. And he's aggressive. When he has to, he'll run you over. When he doesn't have to, he's smart and he protects himself. But, like, he never puts them in the wrong plays, and it looks like he has the opportunity to check in and out of plays every single time. So, like, he might be the most efficient quarterback in this league with how they build their team. They're built like a Big Ten team. I mean, they're gigantic across the board. Their O-line, the 5 starters, they have together, okay, listen to this, combined 117 starts amongst the starters. Their left tackle, Tyler Miller, 41 starts. He's gigantic. He's 6'9", 335. And he's super athletic, and he looks like he's the biggest, one of the biggest linemen I've seen on tape ever, and the ability that he has to play, okay, and the stuff that they do with the way they block, like, that group up front with that many starts is why they have a chance to be, and the continuity that I talked about with what Coach Campbell has built in that program and what Seth talked about, how trying to aspire to that. Like, heck yeah, like, the whiteout out there in Ames, Iowa is going to be freaking phenomenal. We're going to be the sacrificial lamb.
Going to be the sacrificial lamb. I like that right there. This is, and we'll get to, because I know this is going to be a game that Glenn's like, he just told you he hadn't been able to sleep all night, probably because he wants to see how the Iowa State Hawkeyes are going to use all these tight ends, these fabulous tight ends that they've got on this roster. We'll get to that a little bit later in the show. But Rocco Becht is a guy that you're going to have to contend with today. He is one of the good ones in this conference, and looking forward to seeing how the Wildcats can do that. But again, this is an offense that's not just him. They've got some dudes that can run the football as well. And I've said before, I think if Iowa State thinks that their game plan should be to come out and sling it around, that might not be the best way to go, because I think if there's a weakness on this Arizona defense, it's that they can be beat inside running the football. That's the one thing that's kind of stood out to me through fall camp in these first 3 games. We'll see. I don't know if they faced a team that's really been set on running the football. They might face that team today in Iowa State.
Yeah, I think that shoot, they're going to try to run. They're going to try to shove it down our throats. I think that's what I think they're going to try to do. Because if you look at their stats, they don't throw too much to the wide receiver, but they throw a lot to the TE, though. I have to say that. I liked what they do in that. But I think we're in a good situation there, too. I think we got some experienced free safeties, and our linebackers, I think, can cover. So I think we're up to that challenge. And, when you start seeing these big guys you're going up against, if you're a D lineman, if you're an O lineman, you're going up against this guy supposed to be this. That's incentive. You should be ready and willing to play that your best game of the year, that game. And that's a challenge you want. That's why you come to this school. That's why you want to play these big games. And it's food on the table. Let's eat.
I think bigger than the run game, I think it's the quarterback running. The quarterback running with the ball, because now he has that two-way go where he can run or pass situation. So I think stopping the quarterback run is going to be more important than even stopping the running back run, because every big play, it just seemed to be the ball is in this quarterback's hand. I think he's going to definitely – I was telling DK early in the week, I said I definitely think he's still going to pass the ball, because I think sometimes these offensive coordinators get ahead of themselves. Of course, simply, I think you should run the ball against Arizona with all the great DBs that they have.
Yeah.
But – these guys are too smart for their own good. And I swear he's going to pass that ball up there, and I got a feeling, I couldn't sleep either, that my guy Genesis Smith is going to make a play on one of those balls.
Yeah, and I talked to one of my guys that knew Andy Beck, okay? He knew Andy Beck, and he
Rocco's
talked to
dad who played
Rocco's
in the NFL.
dad who played in the NFL, and he said that they're a little nervous because Arizona's looking pretty good. So he was like, at first they thought that there was going to be a rundown, but they're concerned about it, and if for them to be concerned is good. It's good to be that they're concerned about our defense, him going against our defense. So there's a lot of things that I think that we have some strengths that we can work, that we can use against them, and I think if we pressure him, if we get the pressures on him, I think because of those big linemen and we got some guys that are quick and explosive, can get by those guys.
Well, and one of the big storylines in this game is the fact that the Iowa State Cyclones are not going to have this young man today.
Clean snap, good hold. Good! The money man!
Yeah, the money man is Kyle Conradi, their kicker, who beat Iowa a few weeks ago with a 53-yard field goal in the final minute and a half and has kicked a 63-yarder this season. He's out of the game. Not only do they not have their number one kicker, they don't have their number two kicker. Ooh. They got 2 kicking injuries in this game, so they're going to roll out a freshman today who has never kicked a game in college, who's never kicked a field goal in college. And this is a program that prides itself on being able to win close games. That is going to be a huge thing about this contest today, is the fact they do not have their kicker. Let's hear from their head coach, Matt Campbell, on how on Kyle Conradi's injury and how they plan to navigate that.
The only guy that's probably not back this week is Kyle. I think the one thing positive for us with Kyle is it's not going to be a long-term situation. I think that it's more of a leg injury in terms of a strain than it is anything else. And I really think it's more week to week right now. I think we're certainly excited about that it's not a long-term deal, and I think he's excited. He's having a great year, but one of those situations we'll just go week to week with.
Who will be your kicker on Saturday?
Yeah, Chase has been, he's kicked already a bunch this year. So, I think he's had I think he's kicked off 2 games, right? Didn't he kick off the whole South Dakota game? He kicked off the whole game last week. Kicked off against Iowa, and then, he's been the point scorer and some extra points. So got a lot of confidence in him, and again, he's done a great job when his numbers gotten called, and really been a great surprise for us. I thought he had a great fall camp, so have a lot of confidence in him.
So Chase Smith is going to kick extra. Now, he kicked 3 extra points in the win over South Dakota, and has done some kickoff work for them as well this year, and had an extra point late in the game against Arkansas State, which, again, that was a tight game. They won just 24-16, so a 1-score game. Welcome to the show for the true freshman, Chase Smith, today out of Eldridge, Iowa.
Well,
Yeah,
I think it's going to be easier for him. He's at home,
Yeah,
so that makes it a
exactly.
little more comfortable for him. And I do think as you watch every one of these Iowa State games, it will be a close game. So it could come down to him being nervous in a situation. But I think as the quarterback's dad said, whoever that was talking, I think this is going to be a tougher game than what he expect, because going back and looking at it again, Kansas State, I don't know if they was as good as we think they were, but I think this may be the best offense that Iowa State have seen so far.
Yeah, and I think that, hey, they might be going on. I think our defense should be looking for 4th down plays, because 4th downs, they're going to try to get on 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8. They're going to try to get a little bit to get that go on 4th down, because they might not have confidence in their kicker. So if we're inside the 40, or we're at the 40, or even a little bit inside the 40, they might be going for 4 plays. So we got to understand that our defense is ready to make those calls and understand the down and distance and be strategic on those calls.
All right, that is our initial peek into today's game between your Wildcats and the Iowa State Cyclones.
That's our first look at the game. Brought to you by the Window Depot. The Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindowdepot.com. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. Our Window Depot coverage of Arizona football is just getting started. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 1 of the pregame show is brought to you by Advantage Air and Mechanical, Cactus Auto Company, Casino del Sol, Done Right Services, Drain Masters, First Chiropractic, Idaho Central Credit Union, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, Royal GMC, Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, The Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Goldberg and Osborne. We know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Summer may be winding down, but the Arizona heat isn't going anywhere. Keep your AC strong through this endless summer with Rightway. When systems are pushed too hard, they fail, causing strange noises, unusual smells, or no cool air at all. Rightway is here with 15% off any AC repair to get you comfortable fast. Or be proactive and book your $65 AC tune-up today and avoid emergency breakdowns. Call 520-640-COOL or visit rightwayac.com.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rockin' K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 18 model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. LiveRockingK.com. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
September is here, the kids are in school, football has started, and it's still hot in the old Pueblo. Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing is your trusted, local, and family-owned air conditioning and plumbing service provider. We have been serving Tucson and the surrounding areas for over 24 years. Call Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 and go to picturerockscooling.com to set up your next appointment online.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Our Window Depot coverage of UA football continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end, Glenn Howell, and the captain, Calvin Efon.
2nd down and 7. Petito will take the snap, hand off. Motti breaks it out to the 40, to the 51 man to beat, to the 40 and out of bounds inside the Kansas State 40-yard line. 1st down, Arizona.
Motti is like it's like a cannonball shot out. He just took off through that hole, found a crease, and he is in the secondary just like that.
Here is the offensive scouting report for today's game.
Fafita, gun, takes the snap, firing, corner of the end zone. Kopp breaks away at the 5. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
The offensive scouting report is brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Ishmael Mahdi, a big ball game against Kansas State. Offensive player of the week in the Big 12. He had such a big ball game. First season here with the Wildcats, had 189 yards rushing against Kansas State. Most recorded in a game against a Power 4 opponent this season in college football. Second most of his career. He also had 32 receiving yards, 221 all-purpose yards in the game as the Wildcats offense rolled over Kansas State and won that game 23-17. Arizona offensive line doing a great job there as well. We'll hear from Chuba Ma'ai, I should say, coming up a little bit later. Ishmael Mahdi this week, or after the game, I should say, talked about his love for this offense. It was one of the reasons he decided to come here to the University of Arizona.
We play fast, and we believe in each other. Coach Day believe in us. He's doing a great job putting the skilled players in a great position to make plays. This is one of the best OCs I've been around. He's doing a great job finding the playmakers to make plays, and we're staying together. I feel like this is the most committed offensive group that I've been with. Player-wise, we're player-led. We push each other and stuff like that. It's been great to be with this offense.
Indeed, guys, just Ishmael Mahdi, we've seen, obviously, and we'll get into the fact that it appears Kedrick Reesino will be back for today's game. He was taken off the availability report. We have not yet talked about that, but we'll dive into that as well. So it looks like the Wildcats are back to full strength in terms of their top two guys coming into this game, and that's good to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is going to be a big test for Seth Nagy. How is he going to improve on inside the 20? Because we got to get inside the 20. We kind of stall. We've been stalling. and we can't do that against this team. This team, we have to be able to score 6, get 6 on inside the 20. Is he going to be creative with the run? They're going to expect the same kind of runs that we've been doing. Is he going to be creative with throwing bubble passes to make it as a run? Doing those things, spreading these guys out. If they're big, let's make them run. Let's make them run. Make them run to the ball, sideline to sideline. How is he going to do that? And then you sideline to sideline, then you gut him because we got those guys up front. This is going to be a challenge for him to really show his skills as an OC.
Yeah, and I think, just speaking on the red zone, I think our best around the goal line run is quarterback run. I mean, and I had saw it, back from when he played at Marshall and the offenses that he ran, and I was wondering going into the season, I spoke with DK about it, said, what we're going to do? Because it seems like without the fullback in the one-back offense, that how are you going to muscle it in where you use the running back as the fullback and the quarterback is the running back now. So I think, that's the way they're going to go with that. But Arkansas State had a great run game versus Iowa State last year, and I guarantee the coaches looked at that. Yeah. Their running backs, they had 2 running backs had over 60 yards in that game. One running back had 80 yards. I think that we have better personnel. I think it'll be advantageous to us to attack them and use them running backs in this game.
Yeah, and using the fullback on the goal line situation where they have the Caden Luke and the other tight end in there, and what they do is instead of just running the ball, pass out of that. We gotta do some kind of different variation because it's too predictable. We've had that in all the games when those guys came in, and I hope he has that up his sleeve.
How about Mr. Ishmael Mahdi? He is right now top 5 among active running backs in college football in all-purpose yards. He's 4th overall. He's got close to 4,000 all-purpose yards. And so, and basically what we're talking about is, one, his ability to run the football, but his ability to catch it out of the backfield as well. This might have been my favorite play of the game last week.
Needs 16 yards here. Takes the snap, back to throw. Short pass, caught by Mahdi. Mahdi to the 50, Mahdi to the 45, Mahdi to the 40. Mahdi with the first down inside the 30-yard line. Ismail Mahdi. Cats win this game. He's Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week.
Boy, you took the words out of my mouth, man. Mahdi is playing his tail off. M in Mahdi stands for MVP. He is playing his tail off tonight. What a run by Ismail Mahdi. Catches the ball, breaks a tackle, and accelerates for the first
breaks
down.
a tackle?
Yeah, you're right. Multiple tackles.
I mean, Brian Jeffries had the call there. He was indeed the Big 12 MVP. I just love that play because it was a dump down. Noah looked downfield. We'll hear Seth Dagy's call on a little bit later. He thought there might have been an opening down the field to one of his wide receivers, but Noah took the check down. And Amadi, as soon as he got that ball, just exploded. I mean, I was just like, whoa. He just looked like he had another gear getting into that hole to pick up that first down for Arizona.
Yeah, I hope there's a lot of laughing today because when there's a lot of laughing from Lamont, he's laughing on the call. If there's laughing, we're doing all right. But Mahdi, he's a dual threat, man. He's something that he's making money right now. That's what he's doing right now. He's showing people at the next level that he can do both. What can you do? And we need that versatile back, and then that gets the defense in. It gets linebackers nervous.
Oh, right. They got to come down and play. They can't drop back. They can't drop back. Because before you could drop back and play lower for the deep ball, and put another guy back because he wasn't taking the check downs. Yeah. But to me, the biggest play with him making the check down and Mahdi making that big play for him is that now he's going to have more trust in that because guess who get all those yards? Yeah. The running back don't get to say, I got 40 yards right there. That's a pass right there. So the quarterback understands that he don't have to just get the ball downfield. He can do those dump downs, and the running backs can make some yards for him.
Yeah, and I'll put my money on Mahdi if he has a one-on-one with the linebacker when he catches the ball. So I would put my money on him that he can elude one guy and then get upfield.
All right, let's hear from Mahdi on that 3rd and 15 check down. Big play to get a first down.
I had a check D on that. Had protection first. My protections didn't come. Had my chip, and I just got out and just leak out for Noah. It's 3rd and long. Just whatever happens, he threw the ball to me, and I got it, and I got vertical, and I made a play.
And I had a chance to ask Seth Dagy about the play this week.
He's a super explosive player, and when he sees space, that's the thing about him that I love. is when he sees space, there's no dance. It's like violently trying to attack the space to go get what I can. And that was just another example of it. To be honest with you, I thought Noah should have gone we had a post curl open on that play that would have got us, 2 or 3 yards from the sticks as he caught it. And he ended up checking it down to Marty, and Marty went and found it for us. That's just a special player using his tools and his gifts. On top of that, he's bought in. Like, he's bought into to choosing violence. He's bought into protecting the football. He's bought into it being about us and the red line that we're preaching. So there's no, during camp, he was probably playing at the highest level, and then he had a little setback, and it took him a minute to get going, but now he's back going. So I'm super proud of him.
All right, before we move on, let's pause here and give you some station identification. This is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. Getting you set for Arizona and Iowa State today in Ames, Iowa. First trip for the Wildcats to Ames, Iowa since 1968. My name is David Kelly. It's Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. I'm joined by Glenn Howe, the tight end from the class of 1985. And we got the captain, Kelvin Ifan, U of A's best team in 1998. This will be the 7th all-time meeting between these two schools. Arizona leads it 4-1-1. They won that only trip to Ames back on September the 21st, 1968, 57 years ago, almost to the week. They won it 21-12, and they've won the last 2 meetings, but of course none of them, as we mentioned, have come since that time. So it should be fun for this renewal of what could become a very good rivalry between these two programs. Certainly looking like that on the basketball side as well. Now, talking about Ishmael Mahdi and that play there, also one of the things that kind of stood out in the game against Kansas State that the Wildcats won, Noah Fafita's ability to run with the football.
First and goal inside the 5. Fafita fakes the toss, wants to run it to the left, picks up a nice block, turns the corner at the 10, down to the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
That's a big-time run by Noah Fafita and a great call by Seth Dagey. What a beautiful run by Noah Fafita as Arizona takes the lead.
Second rushing touchdown of the season for Noah Fafita.
Fafita ran for 2 touchdowns in that game for the Arizona Wildcats, but he also ran for some critical first downs using his feet to move the chains. First play of the game, he tucked it and ran for 15 yards. Seth Dagey this week on Noah Fafita, his preparation and his ability to manage this offense.
Here's the thing about Noah, and even as a runner, he's very elite at understanding space and being aware of people. Okay, and so when you give him a plan of action and he studied that plan of action, he knows where to go with the football, but he also knows what really bad could happen if he does try to do something, outside of what the plan is. Now he's really good because he's going to prep that way. So if you don't prep him that way, now he's out there just going rogue. Well, of course, anybody that's going rogue, it's kind of a flip of the coin, whether or not you're going to turn the ball over or not. But what he's done a good job is prepping. And then, like I told you, even as a runner, he doesn't take these massive hits. Why? Because he can feel space. He can feel people, right? He understands, when he's about to take a blow and get down. He understands, a weak shoulder cut. That stuff is hard to evaluate on people, in my opinion, on, recruits, is evaluating guys' ability to understand space, rhythm, timing, and just feel in general of people. But he's got an elite skill set of that, which makes another thing that makes him special. And so I think the credit to his prep, not forcing things, not trying to be Superman, and also being very savvy in the game has led to him controlling and managing the game at a high level.
Yeah, I think that a common theme that I'm seeing this year is when the guys get interviewed, they're given detail. So if they are given detail in their descriptions on their plays of what they're supposed to be doing, that is prep. That is excellent prep by the coaches, getting these guys in detail form of saying where they're supposed to be and how they're supposed to do it and not just saying, hey, I just made a play here and I just went, turned around and then, I just saw the guy. But they give more detail of where they're supposed to be and what zone they're supposed to be. And then they're supposed to be hit this hole here. That's detail. That's good job by the coaching staff of really preparing our players. And that's way you can play red line. That's when you can play red line. Because if you know where you're going and understand why you're going there, you can get red line.
It's funny. I hear you say that. I was just talking to the 12-year-old football players yesterday, and I said that the kids that are going to go the farthest is the ones that listen the best.
Yes.
And a lot of people think it's the best athlete. I mean, that you got to be an athlete to get there.
Yeah.
But if you can't listen and take in information and to be able to go out and execute it, it's going to cause you problems. It's going to cause you your starting position. It's going to cause you playing time. And what you see is guys that are bought in. I thought last year it was, kind of new dad type of thing, and guys wasn't bought in. They still was believing in the old coach, the old offensive coordinator. But now they're starting to have a chance to believe in this coach. He came in the spring, had a chance to put his stuff in through the summer, got their own guys. It's just amazing how different you look when you have guys that believe in what you're trying to do and trying to execute what you're trying to do.
Absolutely.
All right, that is your offensive scouting report for today.
That's the Wildcats Offensive Scouting Report. The Offensive Scouting Report is brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
ABC Water and Air, your local comfort experts. Proudly serving Tucson and surrounding areas with HVAC and plumbing services you can trust. Fast, affordable, and reliable. Got a breakdown? They guarantee service within 24 hours. From AC tune-ups to plumbing inspections and duct cleaning, they've got you covered. Ask them about their True Tune-Up Gold Package. It's more than just a checkup. Call 520-812-1597 or visit abcwaterandair.com. ABC Water and Air, always bringing comfort.
Back your hometown favorite. Get your very own exclusive University of Arizona debit card from Hughes Federal Credit Union. Pair your new card with a free checking account that earns dividends with no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and convenient 24/7 online and mobile banking. Visit one of our 7 convenient branch locations to get your card instantly or open an account online at hughesfcu.org/wildcats. Show your Wildcat spirit all year long with Hughes Federal Credit Union. Certain restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Step into a world where rewards never end. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Every moment brings excitement. Every visit unlocks exclusive perks, free play, dining discounts, and more. From high-stakes action to luxurious experiences, your rewards grow with every play. Join today for endless benefits and unforgettable moments. Club Soul. Play more, earn more, experience more. Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe.
JT Auto, where their customers are family. Stop by their newest East Side location, conveniently located at 6947 East 22nd, just west of Cole. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guarantee, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where their customers are family. 372-7704. That's 372-7704. Or JTAutoAZ.com.
Nobody does big screens like this. At Roadhouse Cinemas, every movie is massive with thundering surround sound and food and drinks delivered to your seat. Then, just steps away, Roadie's Lanes Games and Gastropub turns game day into an event. Huge screens with every play in full view. Hit the lanes, throw an axe, battle it out in laser tag, crush it in the arcade, or crazy darts. Movies, sports, food, fun, all in one place. Roadhouse and Roadies, 2 epic experiences, 1 unbeatable destination. Corner of Grant and Swan.
From the shadows of your bathroom comes a villain with 2 pinchers, 1 stinger, and 0 respect for your home.
Scorpions can make your home feel like a scary movie. At Blue Sky Pest Control, we rewrite the script. We keep scorpions out of your home so your story stays drama-free. Call Blue Sky Pest Control today. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, scorpions.
Our Window Depot coverage of UA football continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end Glenn Howell, and the captain Calvin Efon. Let's go in the huddle with Arizona letterman Glenn Howell. In the Huddle with Howell is brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser, with over 30 years of serving Southern Arizona.
Welcome into this week's edition of In the Huddle with Howell, presented by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. I'm U of A tight end Glenn Howell, class of 1985. I am honored to have in our guest in the huddle today the second leading all-time passing yards leader, and the number one, tied for number one of all time in passing TDs, Willie Tuatama, from the class of 2008. Willie, how you doing?
Big Glenn, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. It was great to see you last week. I know you were busy. You were just the honorary captain last week. We wanted to get you in, but you were just a busy dude last week. How was that being honorary captain last week?
Oh, man, it was just, it's always fun to be back in Tucson, just to be on campus. And, every time I come back, it feels like I'm in college again, even though I'm a whole lot older,
Yeah. You feel like you're a little older when you see all them young kids out all around everywhere. But so it's good to get back. And so what are you doing now? Where are you working? Are you working with kids? Are you doing any coaching? Are you doing anything? What are you doing now?
Yeah, I was coaching for a little while, and I actually took a break. I'm living down here in sunny San Diego, and I work for a water desalination company, turning ocean water to drinking water.
Okay, all right, that's great. You enjoying it, doing all that stuff back in San Diego, and you can't beat the weather being there.
You can't beat San Diego, man. I mean, I'm not from here originally. I'm from Northern California, is where I grew up. But I don't plan on going anywhere else.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Willie, we've had, Noah has been here for a couple years. He's had 2 OCs in his career, and he's done pretty well. And what do you think? I know that you had 2 OCs. Who were your 2 OCs?
So first I had Coach Mike Canales, who was there my first 2 years, and then my junior and senior year was with Coach Sonny Dykes.
Yeah, and how was that? Tell us about how that transition, how was that for you, and how did you make that change? Because you obviously did a really good job of making the change, because you're second all-time in passing yards and number one in TDs thrown.
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard. I think first off, the hardest part is, Coach Canales was really the one that recruited me. Like, a big part of the reason I went to U of A was for Coach Canales, because I knew he was going to be my quarterback coach, my offensive coordinator. He was the one that was going to develop me. So when he got fired at first, it was kind of a shock. You got to talk to, I talked to Coach Canales, and he was just, telling me Like he was so happy for me and what I've been able to do in the 2 years that we had together. Even though my sophomore year I was dealing with a lot of injuries with concussions, so we didn't even get a full year together. When I grasped the offense a little better, my freshman year, they pulled my red shirt. I was a true freshman and came in, and it was just kind of flying at me. It was more reacting to things than really understanding it all. I just wasn't there long enough to fully understand the game yet. And when Coach Dykes came in, it's a whole different offense. Coach Canales ran a West Coast offense where, we use our fullbacks and tight ends, sometimes double tight, and then we get Sonny who comes in from Texas Tech and strictly spread. It even took us a while to understand how to use Gronk in that offense because he was so used to not really having tight end or fullbacks, and that was the personnel that Coach Dykes had came into, So there's so many different aspects of it. I think the hardest part is just the verbiage. You go from one coach that can call something one thing and your new coach calls it something completely different, and just trying to understand what your coaches are actually trying to say and what they're trying to get across, because the verbiage can be different. Obviously, the verbiage within the offense is going to be different, especially with the West Coast. It's a lot of tagging all your routes and everything, so your play calls are a lot longer, more your standard kind of NFL stuff, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Where when Coach Dykes came in, his system was completely different. It was a number system, and your numbers were your concepts. And you could still throw tags on it, but it was just a little bit different. But they definitely had two different coaching styles as well. They did things differently. And, at first when Coach Dykes came in, it's different for myself as well. Like, I'm not his guy. He just came to a new place, and I happened to be the guy there when he got there, So, it's different when the relationship I had with Coach Canales obviously developed before I even got to Arizona. And the reason I chose Arizona was for that coach, right?
Yep.
And then when you get a new coach coming in, you have to learn to adapt. If you still want to be the guy and you want that to be your job, then you're going to do everything you can to figure out how to speak the same language as your coach. And, I talked to Coach Daggy, I believe is how you pronounce
Coach
his
Daggy,
name.
yep.
I talked to him when I was in town last week, and, just hearing everything he was saying about Noah and what they're trying to do. He sounds like he has a great offensive mind just from our conversations, and he's trying to make it as easy as Noah as possible and give him, his reads and not, I think it's kind of cool to see, Noah's really running the system. He's getting the ball out to a lot of different guys, which is just what the system calls for,
Yeah, we're talking to Willie Tuitama, class of 2008, is our guest in the Huddle with Hal, brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser, with over 30 years of serving Southern Arizona. So, Willie, was there anything, what was the most challenging aspect of, if there was any, for you to overcome with your new OC?
I think the most challenging part, honestly, was just learning his coaching style. It was so different than what I was used to with Canales, and I think that was part of the reason, is because it was so drastically different.
Was it more verbal, or was it more show me? What kind of styles do you think you can differentiate from those two guys?
I feel like that was more of a show me guy, just go out there and show me, where with Coach Canales, we did a lot of stuff in the classroom. We were on the board a lot. He would have us as quarterbacks on the board a lot, drawing out the whole defense, our offense. He just wanted to make sure we understood every aspect of it from that way. And for myself, I was good on the board. And so that part of teaching helped me to learn. I was good on the board, where Coach Dykes was a lot of film, which we all watch film, but it was just more film than anything. And it was tough too, because when Coach Dykes first got there, all the film that we watched to learn the offense, we're watching Texas Tech's offense.
Yeah.
And so it's a little different when you're not watching your own guys go through things and do things, you know?
Yeah, because it's different tendencies, different guys. You know, you're like, oh, I know what he's gonna do. You know.
Right, yeah, but it's just different when you're watching a whole different team who you know nothing about, but you're trying to break down their offense because that's the same exact offense we're going to try to run. You know, and I think, and I've said this many times, I give Coach Dykes a lot of credit for, you know, learning how to run his spread system with the personnel that he had when he got there.
Yeah.
If it was up to him, we wouldn't have had any fullbacks, you know?
Yes.
And we had Chris Gronkowski, we had Brandon Lopez, we had a couple of different fullbacks that were actually really good. And
he
did a
adjusted
good
to his
job.
personnel. That's what the greatest OCs
exactly.
do.
He adjusted to his personnel. And that's what any good coach, I think, would do is learn to play with what you have. I mean, it doesn't mean we can't run the same things. It just might look a little different.
So you know, you can't be successful, Willie, as a quarterback without your offensive line. Describe to us about what your communication style was with your offensive line. Were you a yeller, shouter? Were you like, okay, guys, pat you on the back and then don't talk to them? I see some quarterbacks not talk to the guys when they had a bad series and said, I don't even want to talk to you guys. I've seen those guys before. What was your kind of style? What was your communication style?
Yeah, I wasn't a yeller. If anything, you know, if I took a sack or something, I would go tell them, hey, that one was on me. Like, I held the ball too long, you know? Even if it always wasn't, you know? It's about trying to give those guys confidence because at the end of the day, I can't do anything without them. You know, if they don't do their job, then my job is going to be extremely hard. So I try to make those guys as calm, as comfortable as I can during the games when, you know, when things are going and all of a sudden there's pressure and, you know, this and this. As long as they're in a calm state of mind and we can go out there and do everything we practice all week, you know. But I wasn't too much of a yeller. I would listen to them. You know, a lot of times Big Eben Britton, guys like that, they would come off and tell me, hey, like, every time we run this, they keep doing this, this, and this. And so I'll get on the phone with Coach Dykes and let them know, hey, when we're in this formation, they're bringing an extra guy, so-and-so, and we could get out of it, you know?
Yeah, you help them.
Exactly. But I'm also taking it from them because they're looking at what they're looking at, and I'm looking at the big picture, right?
Yep.
And so if my guys are coming up and especially if all of them are saying the same thing, or like, hey, we need to run at this guy or whatever it is. Like, there was times during games they would come back and be like, number 93, that's the guy we got to run at all day, you know.
I'm killing him.
Exactly. And, you know, and that's stuff that we need to know. Like, yeah, hell yeah, if you have all the confidence in the world that we're going to get off to every double team and get off to the next level because you could handle this guy, then let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Willie Tuatama is our guest in the huddle with Hal, brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser, with over 30 years of serving Southern Arizona. Dave Kelly, our other host, has a question for you.
Willie, I got to ask you because you're my first quarterback. I got here for the 2008 season, so you're the first quarterback that I covered here at the University of Arizona. Obviously, that bowl season there, going to the Las Vegas Bowl and really kind of starting to turn the program around and get to some winning here. But I got to ask you, you obviously threw to one of the best known Wildcats to ever come out of here, and Rob Gronkowski. Give us a Rob Gronkowski story. Tell us what it was like being his teammate here in Arizona, what it was like having him as one of the guys in your arsenal on that offense.
No, man, Rob was awesome. He still is. I mean, I think the greatest thing about Rob, that not myself, but anybody that was on our team can say, is that he hasn't changed one bit, you know. With all of his fame and everything, he still is as goofy as he's always been. But, I mean, Rob was a different breed, you know. There's not a lot of guys that when they first get on campus, just their body, you can say, like, yeah, he's ready to play. You know, a lot of guys need that redshirt year to get in the weight room, to get bigger, to get faster, whatever it may be. And he came in and, you know, he was already all of, you know, 6'6", 260 at least. at the time. But, I think the most amazing thing to me was just seeing him run. It's a guy where you put the ball anywhere around him, and even though he's kind of goofy-footed at first, I think he was still growing into his body when he first got to Arizona, honestly.
Yeah.
But, I think having a guy where you could just place the ball anywhere and he'll make a play on it was so nice to have. For me, I already had a good rapport with Mike Thomas, who was pretty much my number one receiver. And then when Rob came in, it just Money Mike, yep. When Rob came in, it really just opened up our entire offense. Forced safeties to, stay down the middle of the field, open up some stuff on the outside, and vice versa. Guys like Mike Thomas or Terrell Turner, Jay LaShawn Dean, if they were having a big game, all of a sudden the inside would open up and Rob would take advantage of those mismatches. But, one of the, not the best story, but a lot of the same story. There's so many times he ran the wrong route.
Yeah.
There's so many times, he was supposed to run like a corner route or something. We have play action, so I'm looking to one side of the field. All of a sudden, he's just running the street because he was open.
But I tell you what, my story with Rob, I remember going down to the sideline, and I thought I was a pretty big tight end, and I was 6'4", and I got up next to him. I just noticed his waist was so high up off the ground. I was like, he was like so big. I was like tiny.
Man, it's so big. I remember his first year, my junior year. So many plays where, he would catch the ball, the safety would hit him, the safety would be injured. Rob's like stumbling, but he makes it to the end zone. And just so many plays like that. His size and athleticism is just, I was very special to be able to throw to him, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Willie, we've noticed, in the last couple of games, we've had some drop passes by our receivers in the last few games. How did you handle that situation with your receivers when they dropped some balls, if any of them did?
Yeah, I think it goes back to kind of similar with the offensive line is, you just try to instill confidence in all your teammates. How, you open up the show talking about passing yards and touchdowns. And I think that's the coolest part about being a quarterback is that I can't have any of those stats without all 10 other people on the field with me, And for the receivers, when they would drop the ball, I just go, hey, shake it off, you got it next time. Shake it off, you got it next time. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to throw the perfect ball every time either.
Yeah.
So, I know there's a lot of times receivers get, they could get kind of highs and lows, ups and downs. And I think it's just about letting them feel comfortable. And, there's some guys you just got to kind of get them some touches early just to let them feel like they're a part of the game. We used to do that with little bubble screens and, just kind of get the ball
get
out
them
quick,
going.
let these guys feel the ball in their hand,
Yeah.
And so there's so many different ways to get, if you have a guy that is losing a little confidence or whatever, there's so many different ways to give them the ball that's easy touches, and let those guys get some confidence because, like I said, at the end of the day, you can't do anything without them either.
So, Will, what do you think about today, about against Iowa State? What do you think about Cats' chances?
I love that both teams they're coming in. I think we're 3-0. They're 4-0, I believe.
Yep.
And I'm excited to see us on the road. It's our first road test. I'm excited to see us. I'm actually going to a Arizona watch party out here in San Diego. So I'll be with a bunch of other Wildcat fans watching the game. But yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. I know against Kansas State we were more physical, and so I'm trying to see how that's going to match up against Iowa State with our fronts. But I still think our offense could go out there and move the ball and do some things. I think they just got to run the system and let it come. Yep,
Absolutely.
Just let it happen.
Absolutely. Well, Willie, we really thank you. I want to thank you for coming on the show today, and it was great for our fans to hear about what you're doing, and and some of the stuff that you went through, because I think Noah's going through the same thing with with the two OCs, and we appreciate you coming on for joining us this week in the huddle. And we'll see you. I'll probably see you at Alumni Weekend, maybe.
I'm hoping so.
All right. Thanks a lot, Willie. Appreciate you, brother. Bear down.
All right, Glenn. All right. Thanks, guys. Bear down.
That's In the Huddle with Howell. In the Huddle with Glenn Howell is brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser, with over 30 years of serving Southern Arizona. Our Window Depot coverage of Arizona football is just getting started. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour one of the pregame show is brought to you by Advantage Air and Mechanical, Cactus Auto Company, Casino del Sol, Done Right Services, Drain Masters, First Chiropractic, Idaho Central Credit Union, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, Royal GMC, Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, The Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
There's never a good time for plumbing issues.
No.
Honey, my parents are here.
Oh, man.
Don't worry. With Drain Masters in Tucson, not only do you get local, professional, full-service plumbing with 24/7 scheduled or emergency service, you get a lifetime transferable warranty on all house water repiping. So this...
They brought my aunts and uncles, too.
is gonna be fine. Drain Masters, we do it all. And now offering financing. Solid service, fair price, guaranteed. DrainMastersTucson.com.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put member success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of five-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
It's Truck Month at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Here's how you know you might need a new one. If your tailgate's held on with a bungee cord and a prayer, you might need a new truck. O'Reilly Chevrolet is here for your fresh start with years of experience and quality people. So what are you waiting for? See us at O'Reilly Chevrolet on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or go to O'Reilly.com. O'Reilly Chevrolet, giving you more since 1924. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Tucson sun beating down feels like an oven in your car, right? With our premium window tint, you'll stay cool, comfortable, and protected.
Finally, no more burning seats and squinting eyes. Driving feels amazing again.
It's not just tint. It's comfort, style, and relief from Arizona heat. Recon Auto Detailing, Ceramic Pro West, Tucson, where cool rides start.
Step into a world where rewards never end. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Every moment brings excitement. Every visit unlocks exclusive perks, free play, dining discounts, and more. From high-stakes action to luxurious experiences, your rewards grow with every play. Join today for endless benefits and unforgettable moments. Club Soul. Play more, earn more, experience more. Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Boscoyaki Tribe.
If you're ready to build your dream home, let the Window Depot help. Our expertise spans more than 20 years helping contractors provide custom windows built to last. Our in-house design team works closely with you and your contractor to create the perfect windows. From design to delivery, your contractor will have exactly what they need when they need it. And with the largest inventory and unbeatable prices, your dream windows are just a step away. Visit us in store to get started or find a location near you at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot. Best prices, biggest inventory.
Oh, no, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling, the Neighborly Done Right Promise, and more, Mr. Rooter Plumbing will have your life flowing again in no time.
All fixed.
much better.
Mr. Rooter is proud to cheer on the Cats. Mention this ad for 10% off any plumbing service. A win for the whole family. Bear down, Arizona.
Mr. Rooter Plumbing,
a neighborly company.
Wildcats Nation, are you ready?
Fafita, gun, takes the snap, firing, corner of the end zone. Cop, touchdown, Arizona.
That's a strike by Noah Fafita.
Short drop, looking right. Here comes the pressure. They sack him, get him to the ground. Oh, perfect timing for the Wildcats. Kick is up and it's blocked. Wildcats block it and they pick it up. And I don't think anybody's going to catch him. And it's picked off. Trayton Stoots throws to the back of the end zone. And it's caught. Samuelson, touchdown, Arizona.
Bear down, Cats.
Let's go.
Our Window Depot coverage of UA football continues with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We are counting down to kickoff for Arizona football. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Offense is going to stay out there on 4th down and 6. So here you go for the Arizona defense. Empty set, now Brown in motion, left to right. Avery Johnson out of the shotgun, will take the snap, back to throw, fires, and it's incomplete. Down to the 35-yard line. Cats will take over. Again, the defense rises to the occasion. Javion Cole had the big pick last week. Makes the big defensive play there.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, hour number 2 of our show here. What have we got coming up for you in the second hour? We're going to take a look at the Arizona defense in this hour. We'll let you hear from the defensive coordinator, Danny Gonzalez, Chase Kennedy, Genesis Smith, among those. We'll dive into DK with BB. My questions this week to the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats, actually over the course of the last 2 weeks since we had a bye. That's brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Wilray Fontenot will join us in the captain's corner, cornerback from the class of 2007. Beat the book. Can we beat the book today? Iowa State is a 4.5-point favorite in this game, over under 48.5. How will we go on that? Your pest of the game, who will be that cyclone that gets underneath the Arizona Wildcats roof, let's say, because cyclones are known to take roofs off of people's houses.
Did you say 4.5 now?
4.5. Iowa State
dropped
by 4.5.
It dropped.
What
too.
was it?
It was at 6.5.
Oh, wow. Okay. There you go.
Uh-oh.
Money coming in.
Uh-oh. What they saying?
Well, maybe because of the kicker.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows? That could be the issue. That's what we've got coming up for you.
That's
Still
3
2
points.
hours to go until network coverage begins at 2:30. Kickoff with Lamont Lovett, Brian Jeffries, Mackenzie Hamilton, set for 4 o'clock today in Ames. All right, the defense has been dominant. What about those guys?
Let's look at the Wildcats defensive scouting report for today's game.
Short drop, looking right. Here comes the pressure. They sack him. Oh, perfect timing for the Wildcats. They needed that.
Today's defensive scouting report is brought to you by Rocking K. Rocking K, Tucson's premier master planned community. This is Arizona football on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, you heard that play there by Javion Cole. That was one of 4 4th-down stops for the Arizona Wildcats in the win 2 weeks ago over Kansas State. Now, that play specifically, what I liked about that particular instance there was Javion Cole had just come into the ball game because Michael Dansby had been in, and Michael Dansby went aggressive on a tackle and on a run play and injured his shoulder. So he had to come out, and Javion Cole came in, and literally 2 plays later, he makes that play on 4th down. And we've seen Javion Cole, he had an interception the week before against Weber State. So the depth of this defensive backfield really starting to show. Your starter goes out, your defensive back comes in and is able to make a big 4th down play. That's guys what you want to see from your backups when they come into the games.
Absolutely. The back end is helping with our blitz package. Because if you don't have a good back end that doesn't be able to cover guys, you don't give that extra time for those guys to get there. So what that combination is giving us ability to blitz. And I think that's why we're blitzing so much, because we have confidence that guys are covering guys. Before we couldn't, we really couldn't do that because we had all those guys that were not really starters, because you had Stukes out, you had Genesis out, you had all these guys that were out last year, and you couldn't really rely on those guys. And I have to say, you couldn't. So we couldn't blitz as much.
And I think the most important thing you said is you got a guy coming right off the bench, and he makes a tackle. He actually gets the guy on the ground. A lot of times coming fresh off the bench, you're a little cold. You miss a tackle. Your form is not quite there. Your technique is not quite there. Yeah. But when you got guys coming in off the bench, can't wait to get in the game, that's when you know you have a team, when you know you have some depth.
Yeah, and the experience of Traden and Genesis and Johnson, those guys, their experience, so they know where they're gonna be when the blitz is coming. You got to be in this area. They're not gonna be like, oh, what am I gonna do? They're flying around. They just think that they're supposed to be there. They know exactly. That's why I think Danny is getting more confident with his blitz package.
Let's hear from Genesis Smith, safety, on the dominant conversion downs, 3 for 17, or really for the defense, they won on 4 for 17 in that game against Kansas State.
I feel like just how we emphasize it through the week, knowing what's coming before it happens with down and distance, just everyone reiterating the down and distance, and then just getting off the field. That's a championship down. We got to get off the field. So I felt like we did well in that.
This defense, I mean, to me, they've been the talk of the season from about the second practice. I mean, it was very clear to me, and I've said it before, it was very clear to me, probably from the, they were practicing, they would have 3 days of practice and then an off day. By the time we got to that first off day, I was like, wow, if I was grading it, I talked last week about how I did the scorecard on the fight a few weeks ago, a couple weekends ago. I gave every round, I gave the first 3 rounds to the defense. I said, if I had to pick a winner today, the winner was the defense, and it continued that way. And I'll be frank with you, there were what, I think there were 18 fall camp practices. I'm not sure if there was one practice that I could honestly say the offense won. And that's not to say that they didn't make plays, but it's like a boxing match. You might get some punches in on me, but I'm getting in more punches on you. Yeah. And to me, the defense won every single day. Let's hear from Brent Brennan on when he kind of began to see that his defense was for real.
I think there was lots of moments that way. And I think Coach Daggy would tell you the same thing, where all of a sudden, where the offense would have trouble moving the ball, or we would have, and there was like a little bit of just like that tidal wave of enthusiasm. I remember we had a night practice in the indoor, and the defense was just on fire, and just like the emotion of that night, and even like earlier in that practice, we had just like this incredibly physical 9-on-7 drill, and then like later on that transpired to this like really high level, just high energy performance by the defense, and I think so. That was when I was watching it. Like this team, this group of guys is excited to play. The good news is we went over time. The offense at times did the same thing to the defense, right? Like, just having done this a long time, if it's too one-sided, you probably got a problem. You know what I mean? So like you need to trade punches in the practice environment. But I did see that during training camp from our defense.
Well, and that's why I thought coming out of camp that we did have a problem, because to me it was very one-sided in those 18 practices.
Well, I think that I always think the defense is always ahead of the offense, man. Always. I mean, they know when we're in formations, and they be calling our plays out. They're running. There we here. They're doing this. They're running this. Look for the hook. I mean, you'd hear Randy Robbins and all the dudes that they would know exactly what was going. Alan Dern and Chuck and those guys would be like, okay, he's running the Y route. He's gonna, the linebacker would be knowing hey, GH, I know you're running it. Ron Wild running the route, telling me what I'm gonna run. Okay, so it gets a little monotonous in camp. I'm telling you. But when we get out there when no one knows what we're doing, then that's a little different. So I give it to the D, yeah, but they're actually proving it that they are superior and on the game days.
Yeah, and I thought they had proven it in the past as well. I mean, a lot of these guys are holdovers from some good football, as far as the DBs that we're talking about. But yeah, defense is always ahead. I mean, we have to run plays on offense. We have to execute and almost be perfect for things to work. So you have to get a defender to miss a tackle or something like that. These guys are sure tacklers. These guys are very smart. Then played a lot of football. So you would expect with all the new receivers, with the new offensive coordinator, for the defense to be a little ahead there. So, it's just one of those things with football. And I always say as an offensive guy is that when you have your defense attacking you like that at practice, when you get into games, it just seems to be a little easier.
Yeah,
it just seems to be, when you're going against those blitzes and everything, that head coach that's coaching the defense, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't think he's going to be around here long.
Yeah.
The more I hear him talk, the better the defense plays. We better already be looking for another guy.
Yeah.
Because I just, we continue to win. He's Coach was Gonzalez, right?
Gonzalez,
yeah. He's not going to be around here too much longer because everything that I'm hearing about him, the fun that these guys are having, that's the type of guys that ADs bring in.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Let's hear a little bit now from Genesis Smith on what he feels like the keys to this defense have been.
I feel like just living and dying by our mantra. Know what to do, how to do it, all living to the ball in a bad humor, and then keeping it out the end zone. I feel like just doing that each and every play is putting us in the best position for success.
Genesis, you guys used kind of a different look on defense today with 4 linebackers out in the field a lot of times. What do you think that did?
I feel like just getting our best guys out there at all times, mixing and matching different personnel is great. Just how they can mix and match different personnel on offense, we can do the same on defense. So I feel like that was a very smart move by Coach G and the D staff.
And that's one of the differences, I think, from this year to last year is that they're scheming for their opponents this year. We got to put 4 linebackers out there, then that's what we're going to do. If we feel we want to go with 4 defensive linemen, if that's the right thing to do for this particular game against this team, that's what we're going to do. So Danny Gonzalez definitely being open to looking at how different approaches on how to stop these offenses that he's seeing. Before we get out of this segment, though, I want you also to hear from Chase Kennedy, who talked as well about that 5 turnover practice. For me, that was like, and I'll go back to the boxing analogy. For me, that was like I'm winning every round, and now I'm going to knock you out. And that was, to me, that was the knock you out night. That was the night there were guys out there talking smack. They were into themselves at that night practice where they got the 5 turnovers.
That practice. So going into that practice, we had a challenge to get 3 takeaways, and it was either 2 or 3, I don't remember, but we ended up getting 5, and they all just came in that one skelly period. And I just remember, like, the energy, like the feeling in the indoor. That was one of the craziest moments I've ever been in part of college football. It was just pick after pick. That just comes from people doing their assignment, doing their job, and playing with effort and energy.
Yeah, but it was pretty clear from the first practice that this defense was different than maybe what we had seen last year. Why do you think you guys were able to gel so quickly and make it look so seamless into what Danny wanted you guys to do?
Well, honestly, we didn't want the same thing that happened last year to happen again. And I think once everybody made up their minds and people we brought in, like as in the transfers, even high school kids, I think we just all decided to flip that page, turn the corner, and Coach G really instilled it at that red line. Coach Brennan, I feel like that's what really got us there. This weight room, Coach Carroll pushing us, talking about the price never decreases, always increases. And I think just hearing that every day, it forces you to just put that in your mind, just dominate everything you do, no matter what it is. You can be tying your shoe. I'm gonna beat you to tie your shoe. And that's just how we operate.
There was a number of plays in the game against Kansas State where you put pressure on the quarterback, maybe didn't get the sack, but got in his face enough to affect the play. What's key about those types of plays, those types of looks, the blitzes they're sending you on that allows you to be able to affect the quarterback in that manner?
I think it just comes from just within the scheme we play and just how we operate and the play, the call. It could be anybody right there. It's just about doing your job and really just playing assignment sound football. But I feel like the way we press to the quarterback, though, I feel like people really see that, and offenses gonna have to take account for that because people know Coach G aggressive, and we're gonna keep doing that, keep sending pressure, and just playing our style of football.
Yeah, I like that. Everything's a competition.
Yeah, and the thing is that I liked what he said. If you go into that interview, he talked about, everybody's talking about, Iowa State's really physical, and he just kind of like said, they said that about Kansas State. They think that everybody's got to be physical. He goes, we're ready. He says, we got it. We understand. We understand the physicality, and this defense understands physicality, understands how to get after it. So that's what makes me excited about this team. And this is going to be the most challenge they've had all season. They're going to have to get after it. They're going to be punched in the mouth. And what are they going to do? They're going to have to find out what kind of defense they are today.
USC just lost at Illinois on a walk-off field goal.
Yes, they did.
That's a good game, though. Good Big Ten game.
Good comeback. Good comeback by SC. But Lincoln Riley, I think you're numbered. Days are numbered.
That's
Couldn't
what
do it at Okie.
There you go. That's what we've got with your Arizona defense.
And that's a look at the Wildcats defensive scouting report for today's game. Today's defensive scouting report is brought to you by Rocking K. Rocking K, Tucson's premier master planned community. This is Arizona football on Wildcats Radio 1290. Our Window Depot coverage of Arizona football is getting you closer to kickoff. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 2 of the pregame show is brought to you by Acclaimed Drain, Bear Down Roofing, Dorado Rock, Essential Pest Control, Goodfellas AC, Hughes Federal Credit Union, Johnson Manley Company, JT Auto, Lexus of Tucson, Mr. Rooter, Recon Auto Detail, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Rocking K, a master planned community designed by nature. And by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed. Life well lived.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Discover your perfect vehicle at Cactus Auto, Tucson's trusted destination for certified pre-owned cars for over 30 years. They offer a wide range of certified pre-owned vehicles featuring the brands and models you love. Their finance experts are here to provide you with top dollar trade-in offers and help you find the best financing options, regardless of your credit history. With approved credit, enjoy no payments for up to 90 days. Trust Cactus Auto for quality, affordable pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, all backed by incredible savings and a 7-day exchange guarantee. Visit cactusauto.com.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
My family was having significant challenges, so I dropped out of high school. I returned to school as a computer science major to support my family. And Earn to Learn and Hughes Federal Credit Union helped me get back on the right track, teaching me to be responsible with my money and planning for my future. Learning about the credit union difference gave me the life goal to never bank anywhere else.
Find out how Hughes and Earn to Learn join forces to support student success at hughesfcu.org/earn to learn. Insured by NCUA. Certain restrictions apply.
Advantage Air Mechanical, the team you can trust. Call 792-9400.
When it comes to the comfort and indoor air quality of your home and office, Advantage Air Mechanical has you covered. Breathing healthy air and having reliable air conditioning is important. If you or someone you know is in need of air conditioning services or a new system installation, we are here to help. Advantage Air Mechanical, 792-9400. AZROC214-570.
If you have old windows, they are probably driving up your energy bills. Cool things down with energy-efficient windows from the Window Depot. The Window Depot provides unbeatable value and a wide variety of in-stock and custom order windows to fit your style and budget. Choose from our SI window brand, made in the USA for quality you can trust, or custom order from top manufacturers for a perfect fit. Order online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you. Experience the best prices, the biggest inventory, only at the Window Depot.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Thama Nation.
From offices and warehouses to retail spaces and restaurants, the right lighting transforms your environment. At Arizona Commercial Lighting, we've been proudly locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years. Our extensive inventory of in-stock lighting solutions is designed to meet both commercial and residential needs, with quality, variety, and value you won't find anywhere else. Visit us at 1436 East 17th Street. Be sure to ask about available TEP rebates. Arizona Commercial Lighting, powering business through precision lighting.
A proud sponsor of the University of Arizona radio broadcast.
KCUV Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
Our Window Depot coverage of UA football continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end Glenn Howell, and the captain Calvin Efon.
3 hopefuls in the top 4 position. Now Haley goes up to the fence, comes back down across in front of Cole Custer. Ryan Blaney now comes into the mix. Can you believe the finish that we are about to see? Cole Custer and Ryan Blaney. This would be epic for Haas Factory Team. Ryan Blaney ahead of Custer. Coming to the line, Ryan Blaney's going to do it. Wow. They spin
NASCAR. The Wildcats have a relationship with NASCAR now. It began last Saturday. Phoenix Raceway and Arizona Athletics, along with Arizona Sports Enterprises and the football squad, uniting to highlight the university's football mantra, living the red line. So this is going to be a relationship we're going to see throughout the rest of this season. There's going to be a NASCAR car that's going to lead the team into on the Wildcat Walk. So when the buses come in and we're out there on the mall, we can never see them because they come in right behind us. We're facing the other direction, but we can hear them when they come in. So on the October 11th home game against BYU, there's going to be a NASCAR pace car that's going to be leading the team in. There'll be an official car on display that day outside of the stadium. There's going to be fan engagement and social promotions using the Living the Red Line mantra. This is a really cool little thing that they've got going on with NASCAR. And time now for DK with BB.
For all the questions that you need answered, it's DK with BB. Our David Kelly asks Brent Brennan the questions, and you get the answers. DK with BB is sponsored by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Hughes Federal Credit Union. We take you further.
I think when you look through the lens of just the business of college football now, how do we continue to build and push the brand of Arizona football? And we felt like red line was just such a simple thing, kind of in alignment with race cars, right? Like you're always talking about redlining a race car. And so I got a chance to redline a race car. I'll be honest with you, I was like a little bit nervous at first. I'm looking out because you're standing there and those cars are going by crazy fast, right? And then you go through the training and there's the people there, at the Phoenix Raceway were just amazing to me and to us. And I was just so appreciative of the collaboration. And I think, But then you got to get in the car, and then you're in that thing, and it's I don't know the last time any of you guys drove a stick shift. Anyone? Anyone? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's been a while, right? So same thing for me. So that was an adventure, but I was just really appreciate Anna Chell and Carrie Cecil, and then also the people up there at Phoenix Raceway. It was a lot of fun, and I think it was an opportunity for us to continue to talk about Redline in a different way, but also to engage our fans during the bye week. And so, everything that we're doing here at Arizona is we're trying to build a program that is successful and sustainable over time. And how do we find creative ways in the new world of college football to do that? And I thought that was a really great step, and it was supported obviously by Desiree and her administration. And so we were excited to be there with those people. But if we could get a race car branded with Redline, I would drive the hell out of that vehicle.
Coach, obviously last year we heard about Redline. You introduced that to us when you arrived here, but it seems like this year there's a higher emphasis on talking about it, speaking it. We've heard you speak about it. We've heard the coaches speak about it. We saw the video in the locker room, and Joe Salavea before the game is yelling it to the players. Did you feel like going in that you needed a heightened emphasis on that this year within the group?
Absolutely, because I honestly believe that effort, execution, and accountability are things that we have to win football games. Like those are things that we have to give us a chance to play good football on game day. And so that being a huge point of emphasis, I think we're doing a better job. And I give the players credit too, because they've really leaned into it, where it's not new. They know what it looks like. They know what the expectations are. And because of that, we're getting a better demonstration of it in practice and then on game day.
Brent, with the new NASCAR relationship, are you a fan? Do you watch it? Do you have a driver that you like or have liked across the years?
Kurt Busch is my guy because he's an Arizona dude, right? He was here for a couple semesters. He came by. He's been by a couple times to spend a little bit of time with us, and he's a really great person. A lot of fun to talk to. The biggest fan on our staff is Josh Oglesby, which he asked me as soon as I got in the building on Sunday morning. He was in my office. He wanted to know all about it. I think for Josh, we might have to build a bigger car if we're going to get him behind the wheel. Just those cars are not made for offensive linemen. But Josh is the one, on Sunday, we're in the middle of game plan or whatever, and he's like, hey, did you hear how the NASCAR race finished today? And I'm like, whoa, I'm just trying to get a first down, buddy. But he's such a fan. So I enjoy that part of Josh, and he's actually kind of pushing me into definitely being more interested. And now with this new collaboration and this relationship, it's obviously going to be something that I care more about, right? So I'm excited about it.
And obviously Iowa State, this is a new relationship. Haven't played them since 1968. What have you seen about the way they've built that program over the course of maybe the last 10 years where they are so consistently right there at the top?
That is a great question. I have incredible respect for Coach Campbell and that staff there. I think that's one of those deals where he took over a program that had been up and down, and he's made it a consistent, sustainable winner, something that we talk about wanting to do here at the University of Arizona. And so I just have an incredible amount of respect for him and his staff and how they've built it, and it's been incredibly impressive to watch. And I've watched it over the whole tenure of him there. And even when, Coach Campbell and I had not connected before I got here, but we had been kind of trying to. And when we played Toledo in fall of 23, the whole pregame conversation with Coach Campbell there, we talked about Coach Campbell, right? And it was really an interesting just how much he respected Coach Campbell and what their experience was like. And so he's a universally respected head football coach. He's a really good guy, and he's built a hell of a football program.
Brent, obviously Danny's got this defense playing at a high level energy-wise, but what do you liked about the way he and the players have managed some of the groupings that they've put out there at times, 4 linebackers, 4 defensive linemen, and how they've been able to adjust to those instances?
I think as you go throughout a season, I think there's always the tendency for human nature to kick in, right? And, are guys willing to accept their role to be part of something that is collectively better than themselves? And can they embrace that? I mean, really attack it. And I think those players have done that, right? Like just trying to get the right pieces on the field to attack the situation or the personnel or whatever that your opponent is presenting. And so I think Danny's done a great job of that, as has the rest of the defensive staff. But the players have done a great job of embracing that and understanding that when they are on the field, the standard is the red line. The standard is 100-100, and that's it. And it needs to show up, or else we're going to put somebody else out there. And I think the players are doing a good job of embracing that.
And you've talked obviously about the populations of the football and all of that, but you've had some really great open field tackles from different guys throughout this defense. What have been the key elements of maybe improving in that area where a guy like Gavin Hunter can go out there and corral a guy one-on-one, or Genesis and those guys we've seen make those tackles?
No, I agree. I think that, I always think that, like, outside of, like, hitting a baseball, one of the hardest things to do in sports is to tackle somebody one-on-one in space. And I think the defensive staff has done a great job of that. Now we're 3 games in. We got a lot more football left to play. And so, ask me in a couple weeks how I feel about our open field tackling, right? But I do think we're off to a good start. And now, can it improve? Can we get better at it? Can we actually continue to elevate and accelerate our process towards being collectively great tacklers? And that's what we're trying to do.
And as a coach, when you see a player like Traden go through what he went through, come back, and immediately he comes back on the field in his first game and makes a huge play, I mean, what does that mean for you to see that?
It was awesome because, Traden Stukes is a leader on this team. He's been a very, very good player here for multiple years, and he went through a really hard thing. But to watch how he has continued to lead, how he's continued to carry himself, just the person he is for our football team, the person he is for the defensive back group, like that leadership. He's the guy that was recovering, but he never hid on the sideline. He was always in the mix, always encouraging his teammates, always challenging his teammates, always bringing energy to the practice environment and the game day environment. And so, he is a universally respected player on our team, and everyone loves him. And so, I think that moment was just as exciting for the team to see him make that play as it was for Stukes.
Chase Kennedy had a number of situations where he was able to pressure the quarterback in that game and create negative plays. What have you liked just about his development in that new role, kind of rush in?
I think he's making a move as a player. I really do. And Chase is one of those guys that was new to us last year and kind of getting his sea legs, so to speak. But I think you see him starting to accelerate, which is what you hope for players that are in the program over time, is that they're developing and their process is getting sped up each week, and you can start to see them having more impact as they play. So I think we're excited about Chase, and obviously we're excited about the whole defense, but it's fun to see him starting to step into that role that we believe he can be.
And obviously Noah was kind of maybe the guy that stood out with his legs in that ball game. The play he scored on, it didn't seem like maybe that was designed exactly the way that he ran it. What were you guys looking for there, and what did you just like about the way he found the opportunity to make a play there?
I would tell you this, every play that's drawn up is designed to score. Every single one, you know what I mean? Obviously it doesn't always happen that way. But like he's a really good football player, right? And really good football players find ways to make plays when it doesn't look exactly perfect. And the truth is, with as good as Kansas State is and with as good as Iowa State is, it doesn't always look perfect, right? And you need guys to, rely on some instinct, some talent, some vision to make big plays, and he did.
And those are the questions that you needed answered. DK with BB is sponsored by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Hughes Federal Credit Union. We take you further.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Summer may be winding down, but the Arizona heat isn't going anywhere. Keep your AC strong through this endless summer with Rightway. When systems are pushed too hard, they fail, causing strange noises, unusual smells, or no cool air at all. Rightway is here with 15% off any AC repair to get you comfortable fast. Or be proactive and book your $65 AC tune-up today and avoid emergency breakdowns. Call 520-640-COOL or visit rightwayac.com.
Hi, this is Tim Couch, retired NFL quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, partner at Meridian Wealth Management, and proud member of Meridian's Tucson Advisory Business Council. It's my favorite time of year, college football season. I've always been a proud Wildcat. As our firm has grown in Tucson with Ruben and Natalie Fernandez, I now cheer on 2 Wildcats every year. My alma mater of Kentucky, of course, and our U of A Cats. Here's to a great football season, and go Cats.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Looking for fun? O'Reilly Chevrolet has EVs in stock and ready to roll. Chevy's led the EV charge since the Bolt in 2016, and now we're keeping it going with the all-electric Blazer, Equinox, and Silverado. Innovation, power, and savings all in one ride. Come see us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or visit O'Reilly.com. The Chevy EVs are here, and the future is electric. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Hey you, we've got something new in the store.
Well, not really in store. It's in your home, in your office, where you play, wherever you are.
My point, son. We're here, you're there.
Wherever that is.
Tucson Appliance Company is your appliance concierge.
Tell us what you want. We will find it and send you photos, texts, emails, even FaceTime you the appliance. Buy it and we will deliver it. We're your personal appliance shopper.
Only at Tucson Appliance, where our low price is your priority.
The days of waiting weeks or even months for new countertops is over. The Window Depot has a wide selection of in-stock granite and quartz countertops so you can upgrade your kitchen or bathroom now. From sleek, modern quartz to timeless granite, we have the perfect countertop to match your style and budget. And it's ready to take home today. Our team is here to help you choose the perfect countertop at the lowest price and get it home fast. Visit a location near you or shop online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
For over 30 years, Tucson has been putting its trust in First Chiropractic for auto and on-the-job injuries. They're locally owned and a proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcast. So if you've been injured, make the right choice first.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy. My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
September is here, the kids are in school, football has started, and it's still hot in the old Pueblo. Picturock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing is your trusted, local, and family-owned air conditioning and plumbing service provider. We have been serving Tucson and the surrounding areas for over 24 years. Call Picturock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or go to picturockscooling.com to set up your next appointment online.
Picturock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Our Window Depot coverage of UA football continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end Glenn Howell, and the captain, Calvin Efon. Gather up, Wildcats fans. It's time to hear from our captain. It's time for our pregame speech. Captain's Corner is brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier, since 1960, here to get you there. And now, here is the captain, Calvin Efon.
Welcome into this week's edition of the Captain's Corner, presented by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto. I'm Kelvin Efon. Our guest today is Will Ray Fontenot, cornerback from the class of 2007 here at the U of A. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. Man. I was excited to get you on because need that defensive back's perspective, with all the great things that is going on with the defense. First off, man, tell me what you've been up to.
Just parenting mostly for my kids and everything. I've also been volunteering coaching at Pueblo High School with Coach Sly Lewis and those guys, trying to get things turned around there.
Big win last night. Big win over Catalina Foothills. Those are my boys. That's my neighborhood.
Yeah, no, it was a great win for us. We're very excited for the trend that we're on right now, and just happy to help kids out and learn this game of football.
That's back-to-back big wins right there over there. Was that another home game on your new field?
Yes, it was. But next 2 weeks we'll be on the road. But for the last 3 games of the season, we'll be back at home.
Oh yeah, so hey, it's good to protect home all the times, man. And how's things going over at Coach Sly Lewis over there? I mean, with Coach Sly, how is it working with him?
Oh, that's great. He's very enthusiastic about this. He's very dedicated to football. It's very refreshing being with a person like that really enjoys the game and just does it for the kids.
Well, I know you're a Texas boy, and I'm a Texas boy as well. And you ended up staying here in Tucson. Tell me a little bit about that.
So actually, yeah, you're correct. Being from a place called Humble, Texas, I also currently still work at the university in an office called the Office for Responsible Outside Interests. We deal with the research investigators, UA employees, students, postdocs, trainees, along with the university administrators, just helping to solve conflicts of interest or commitments at the university and help to kind of create mitigating plans.
Man, that's cool, man. I always love it when former athletes find, other avenues of job opportunities, especially around the university. It's real cool when I see that and guys get those opportunities, especially, guys that graduated from the school. Also, tell me, who recruited you to U of A? How did you end up picking U of A?
Honestly, I was recruited by John Makovic. And I redshirted that year. It wasn't the best year for us, but I played under Coach Mike Stoops for 4 years, and that was a great experience. And I just learned a lot of football. He's a football-loving person, very passionate about it and everything. So it was an enjoyable time.
Who were some of the guys that you played with on that defense back then for Coach Stoops?
So on the other side, we had the Thorpe Award winner, Antoine Cason. And then we also had at safety Mike Johnson, who was a safety for the Giants when they won the Super Bowl down here in Phoenix against the Patriots. We had my guy Layman Means and Dominic Patrick. We had Spencer Larson at linebacker, who played in the NFL with the Denver Broncos, I believe. And then also we had Lionel Dotson, who was with the Miami Dolphins for a while. Some other guys on Lou Holmes, who was D-end, along with Jason Parker, Marcus Hollingsworth, a few different guys that were, great contributors to that defense at time.
Yeah, I always say, I'm an offensive guy. In my heart, defensive, because in high school I was a linebacker, and I wish I would have stayed on that side of the ball sometimes. But I always said that Arizona is a defensive school, and when we're at our best, we have a good defense. And have you been watching any of the games so far? Because the attacking and the blitzing style of Coach Gonzalez's defense, I think, is in line with what it takes to be successful in the desert.
Yes, I agree with you 100% with that. And I have watched a few games, and it kind of reminds me of, that true, we think back to the early 90s with the Desert Swarm, but these guys are flying around, man. And I always tell people, anytime you have a defense that's performing well, you have a chance. No matter how offense is doing, with offense, sometimes it takes a few weeks to get them in a rhythm. And, but with defense, it's effort. And these guys are showing a lot of effort and passion out there, and it's becoming contagious.
Who are some of the guys out there right now that you're seeing and you like their style of play and what they're bringing to the table?
Honestly, I don't know them by name because I'm not big on the names.
Right.
But, Stoops, is a good one.
Right.
But at the same time, it seems like a committee. They're not really an individual unit or anything along those lines. But I feel like the coaches have them playing hard and doing what they need to be doing out there. And if you keep that mindset, we're going to be on the right trend, with this week being a big test.
Yeah, it is. Genesis Smith, man, watch that boy right there. That's a name right there. He just seemed to always be around that football, whether it's running the ball or in the passing game. He's right. Keep getting one hand on that ball as far as the interception. I'm waiting for that other hand to get up there so we can pull down a couple of those interceptions.
Yeah, I think he's taking the safe route. You get one hand, but you got to be aggressive sometimes to put both hands up and get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you play for Stoops here. Is there any old stories that you got of Coach Stoops that come to mind of some of the some of the situations that you had when you was playing here at the U of A?
Yeah, I have one in particular. At that particular time, after a redshirt year, it was a question of, would I be playing offense or defense? Coming from being recruited, I was an athlete. And, so when they first showed up, it was just, hey, we're going to test to see who's, going to be playing where. And I had the first and second fastest 40 time at that time on the team. And Stoops came to me and he was like, hey, what are you, just to let you know, you will be playing defense. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm a defensive guy. So, and it kind of just worked out after that, but, dealing with Coach Stoops, he was very passionate. And just a guy that was always very knowledgeable. Sometimes people see him on TV as a certain different image, but he was just always tuned in, man, with football. And, just having that kind of coach, those are the best type of coaches because they're so passionate and they teach you so much about the game. And he's greatly appreciated for that, the knowledge that he gave us.
Will Ray Fontenot is our guest in the Captain's Corner, brought to you by Jack Farrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Farrier since 1960, here to get you there. You was mentioning about Coach Stoops. Tell me some of the things that you use today in your coaching that you learned from Coach Stoops back in the day.
The biggest things that I coach with my guys is alignments and recognizing different formations. For example, in twin set, if you have a lot of spacing, typically if you see a number one receiver doing a curl, it's probably a flat associated with that, curl flat routes, hook, just the combination routes and proper alignments, getting jams in your cover two look, sinking, so you're helping the safety out. Just those different things, they don't seem like a big difference maker, but when you actually execute those things, you have a lot of playmakers and everybody feeds off of that. We have a guy on my team right now that has 3 interceptions in 5 games just because his corner's helping him out by getting a jam and sinking underneath and allowing him to roam over the top. So I try to emphasize the fundamentals of the game because if you have fundamentals, that helps you out, from the areas that you may lack in, whether it be speed, size, or whatever it may be.
Hey, Will Ray, David Kelly here. I want to just ask you a little bit about what's happening over there at Pueblo. Obviously, you guys' second year there under Sly. Things got off to a little bit of a rough start last year. What's been the key, for you guys being able to bounce back this year? And like we mentioned at the top, getting a couple of big wins in a row with the debut of the new field out there.
Honestly, we talk about this every week, and it's consistency. With younger men, sometimes, you have so many distractions out there. It's about being focused week to week. And we emphasized this past week, we told the kids to say, we're coming off a win. Let's do the things that we did the previous week that were, positive, and let's keep building on that. I think in the past years, that you get down on yourself sometimes when you've had so many losing seasons, and it's just a matter of building kids' confidence and then seeing the benefits of doing well and doing the correct fundamentals and how the rewards come from doing all of that.
Yeah, we saw a very unfortunate situation last night in the game at Amphi where there a little bit of a brawl broke out after a late hit. How do you guys teach your kids about keeping their heads in those situations where something might happen to their teammate, but look, we've got to think about the greater good of the team and make sure we don't put ourselves in situations where the entire bench leaves the sideline and now you have to forfeit because you don't have enough players to complete the game.
Right. Well, we talk to our kids ahead of each game, and telling them that it's not just the physical part of the game, it's also mental part.
Yeah.
You're going to have players out there, consistently talking, being disrespectful to you. That's part of the game. And, you have to have the emotional intelligence to kind of sit there and focus on your responsibilities and understand that you have a responsibility to your teammates to not put them in a tough situation. So we emphasize those things and preach discipline. At all levels of our offense and defense, we have good coaches that emphasize all those different areas. So I'm loving the situation that we're in right there. It's people that are very passionate about what we're doing, and I don't think it gets any better than that. We're building on this situation that we're in, and I feel like it's only on an upward trend.
Will Ray Fontenot is our guest in the Captain's Corner, brought to you by Jack Farrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Farrier since 1960, here to get you there. Yeah, man, I really appreciate what you guys do, and I know as a coach, from my experience, I coached over at Pueblo as well. When you're able to work with those young men over there, and everybody's not going to be a Division I player or even go on to college, but you help preparing them, for their future as young men.
Yes, absolutely. That's something I emphasize a lot with those guys. I tell them that the habits that they're learning right now and the discipline that they're learning with football is going to help propel them in later in life, whether it be just getting up daily to go to work. Some days you don't want to get up and go to work, but you have responsibilities. You have family members that you have to take care of. And that's the biggest thing that I'm emphasizing with these kids. And we actually had Fat Lever come in one day, and he emphasized the same different things. And he was telling these kids, hey, man, it's very important that you create good habits early on in life because those will be things that will carry you for the rest of your life. It's certain things that you can't just focus on at this point in time. Everybody wants to be the number one pick in the NFL, but the reality is that it can only be one. And so it's so many different areas that you can go to. It's different trade schools, it's different professions. It's things that if you do them early enough in life, you can set yourself up to be successful in the back end. You can enjoy and reap the benefits of your hard work.
Exactly, and it's great to hear from guys like yourself. Say young men, but we're getting up there. I'm definitely is. I'm a few years over you, yeah. I know you grew up in Texas. As we said earlier, I'm a Texas guy myself, and we think Texas is football country. Me and Glenn had that debate, and a couple of my Florida boys.
Oh, it is. It is.
We had that debate all the time. But growing up in Texas, man, tell me, how did that shape your football attitude in your life?
Honestly, I started playing Pee Wee football at 9 years old, and it's the environment. And I talked to coaches out here about that. I said, you have to create an environment. I think when you create a competitive environment early on, kids they adapt to that. And I think, just for example, the school I went to was called Humble High School. Some of the alumni I have there are David Boston, Sammy Davis, who was the first-round pick corner out of Texas A&M, and Bertrand Berry, who played for the Cardinals when they went to Super Bowl. So I think it becomes so competitive to the point where you're used to the competition. And it just, like we just mentioned, it's not just in athletics, it's also just in everything in life, where it becomes part of your DNA, where you're used to doing that. And then I think a big thing that Texas also does is it prepares you like the environments. Whereas in high school, we were used to seeing 10, 15,000 people in the stands. And so when you transition to that collegiate level, you may have some teammates that, a big game is them playing in front of 1,000 people, where you're going, oh, no, I'm used to this. Like, for example, I played in the Astrodome as a high school kid, and we, had 80% capacity in the Astrodome at that time. So you get used to those environments. Football is, like you said, is almost like God, not to get too religious with it, but, people look at it in that sense. Towns shut down on Friday night sometimes, and everybody's at the game, from the little kids to the grandparents. So it's the environment, and you can't compare it to anything. Maybe, like you said, Florida or California or Ohio, but it's embedded in your blood if you're from Texas.
Yeah, it's a blood. I tell guys all the time. I told Glenn them here, I said, it's not funny that we starting to win a little bit more around here. We starting to get a little bit more Texas blood, on this team. So it's not funny. It kind of correlates.
We got some Cali guys.
Oh, we always got that. We always got Cali guys, but we getting them Polynesians and them Texans over here, man. Things seem to turn around. I was going last thing I want to talk to you about, man. You ended up getting drafted, which is all our dreams, man. You got drafted to the Cardinals. Tell me a little bit about that experience.
So it's a very stressful environment, but just the actual thought of getting that phone call, you see it all the time when you're watching on TV. I think that was probably one of the most numbing events in my life. You're actually sitting there and you get to see your name come across the screen, and it's a rewarding experience. It's something that as a little 8-9-year-old, you're envisioning that, you're in your room by yourself playing catch, imagining yourself winning a scoring touchdown, all those different things. And it's just like a circle of moment, life type moment. It was very enjoyable. I was with the Cardinals the year they went to Super Bowl. Didn't get the job done and everything, but it was something that was great. Something that you can look back on. And now I have a son myself, and I just talked to him about those different things, but also trying to tell him about all the other different parts of life and how to prepare himself, even though he's so young. And just, the biggest thing is letting kids enjoy themselves. And I think sometimes when you get to the higher levels, you forget about the passion that you had for it, because there's so many other things that come into play now. But it's great to just have that, that experience, and that you say that you're one of the few that actually got to experience that. And so that's not to brag or anything, but it is very humbling to just experience it when you look back on it now and kind of go, man, like I was able to actually do that.
Yeah, man, great accomplishment, man, because you go back and you look, and a lot of guys definitely didn't get drafted and didn't even have chances to be free agents. So even if you didn't play 10 years or Hall of Famer, just having that accomplishment was just, a blessing.
Well, Ray, this
Absolutely.
is Glenn Howe. Hey, man.
How you doing?
I remember just meeting you and talking to you at alumni events and stuff, and I just want to say that, I just really I'm proud of you, how you're giving it back to the kids that are at Pueblo. And tell me, how does it feel? You know, this is the greatest feeling when you give back to kids, is when kids come out and ask you questions and you're giving them answers about, you know, things in life. How does that make you feel when you're doing that kind of thing for the younger generation?
Oh man, it feels great. Yeah, honestly, that's the reason why I do it. You know, like I said previously, growing up, my little league coach didn't have any boys. He had all daughters, and he always told me that. He's like, man, you know, give back from your experiences, and so that's something that I really love to do. And you just understand kids kind of look up to you from that perspective because they don't know many people that have been in that situation. And it's just wanting to see them be successful. And that's honestly why I do it every day. I'm passionate about football. I love football. And it's just seeing kids be excited about their accomplishments makes me feel great about it. It's no other reason why I do it. I just do it because I like seeing other kids be happy with their results when they're putting the work in.
Our thanks to Arizona 2007 cornerback Real Ray Fontenot for joining us this week in the Captain's Corner. Appreciate you for coming on, bro.
All right. Thank you all for having me. I appreciate it.
And that's your Captain's Corner with Kelvin Efon. Captain's Corner is brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier, since 1960, here to get you there.
Summer may be winding down, but the Arizona heat isn't going anywhere. Keep your AC strong through this endless summer with Rightway. When systems are pushed too hard, they fail, causing strange noises, unusual smells, or no cool air at all. Rightway is here with 15% off any AC repair to get you comfortable fast. Or be proactive and book your $65 AC tune-up today and avoid emergency breakdowns. Call 520-640-COOL or visit rightwayac.com.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
I come from a low-income family, and as a first-generation college student, it was difficult for me to navigate the way. Hughes Federal Credit Union and Earn to Learn provided a pathway for me to learn valuable budgeting and financial education. I am currently a graduate student in public health and helping my younger siblings with their college paths.
Find out how Hughes and Earn to Learn join forces to support student success at hughesfcu.org/earn-to-learn. Insured by NCUA. Certain restrictions apply.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
There are many reasons you might need Dorado Rockin' Materials. A few bare spots in the yard, the driveway needs filling in, or it could be that the yard needs a whole makeover. Whatever the reason, if your yard has the summertime blues, Dorado Rockin' Materials has everything from sand to boulders and every rock and pebble in between. If you need help spreading it, we have options for that too. Call 400-4233. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Hi, I'm Jordan Benjamin with Done Right Services. When your home or business needs HVAC, plumbing services, or electrical work, trust a true local Tucson company, Done Right Services. We pride ourselves on delivering top-notch service, fair pricing, and expert craftsmanship. The job isn't finished unless it's done right. Weekend emergency? No problem. Just give us a call. We're here when you need us. You deserve the best, and Done Right Services delivers. Call us today for a free estimate at 520-369-3966.
Broadway in Tucson presents the 20th anniversary season featuring 7 Tucson premieres, including Disney's Beauty and the Beast, Hell's Kitchen, Moulin Rouge, The Wiz, Back to the Future, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and more. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the lowest prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2025-2026 season tickets today.
Looking for top-notch lumber and framing? Johnson Manley Lumber has been your trusted expert since 1970, specializing in both residential and commercial projects. Our experienced teams, cutting-edge technology, and reliable supply chain ensure your framing is on time and on budget every time. We're proud to be employee-owned and community-rooted in Tucson. Learn more at johnsonmanley.net. Proud supporter of the University of Arizona radio broadcast. Go Wildcats.
Wildcats Nation, are you ready?
Fafita, gun, takes the snap, firing, corner of the end zone. Cop, touchdown, Arizona.
That's a strike by Noah Fafita.
Short drop, looking right. Here comes the pressure. They sack him, get him to the ground. Oh, perfect timing for the Wildcats. Kick is up and it's blocked. Wildcats block it and they pick it up. And I don't think anybody's going to catch him. And it's picked off. Trayton Stukes throws to the back of the end zone. And it's caught. Samuelson, touchdown, Arizona.
Bear down, Cats.
Let's go.
Our Window Depot coverage of UA football continues with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We are counting down to kickoff for Arizona football. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
First down, Arizona at the Kansas State 33. Handoff around left side, body. Got to beat a man there. He's down to the 25, to the 20, and out of bounds with another first down at the 18-yard line. Ismail Mahdi, right now, he owns the ground here.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
Can Ismail Mahdi own the ground in Ames, Iowa today? That will be the big question. Final hour of our pregame shows. We take you up to network coverage. Brody Dryden, Kyle Quinn coming up at 2:30, and then it'll be kickoff from Ames, Iowa at 4 o'clock. The voice of the Wildcats, Brian Jeffries, Lamont Lovett, and Mackenzie Hamilton will have the call. We'll be back with you post-game here to take your calls, text, and reaction to Arizona and Iowa State. Here's what we've got coming up for you in the final hour of our show. Can we beat the book? Iowa State, a 4.5-point favorite in this game today, and the over-under on it is 48.5. Wildcats an underdog for the second straight game. Who will be that cyclone that gets underneath the roof for the Wildcats today? It's your Pest of the Game, brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Keys to the game also still to come as we get you set for the Wildcats and the Iowa State Cyclones. If you want to get in, give us a text, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290, or give us a call as well. Can we dispatch Kelvin Efon off to do some coaching? He's got a game today, so I've got me and Glenn Howe. We will have it for you here the rest of the way.
Him winning.
He felt he was walking out of here feeling pretty good about the chances of getting a win today. I think he said the last few weeks have not been so good for the guys, but there's been a lot of teachable moments in that respect as well. You heard, obviously, and we talked a little bit about Ismail Mahdi and the job he did last week. And Glenn, we talked about it on Breakdown, how we really felt the guards were so key in that performance on that offensive line. Alexander Deuce and Chuba Ma'ai on that left side. I gave my game ball to Chuba Ma'ai because I just thought he really, especially that 60-yard run in the first quarter by Ismail Mahdi, he really bent back the line on that side to allow Mahdi to get through that hole. And you mentioned that we've seen good play from the guards. We now need to see the tackles begin. And that's not to say that they didn't necessarily play well. I saw some nice blocks on the edge by Tristan Bounds and Ty Buchanan. But as a whole, we're seeing a lot of the holdings and that seems to be coming more from the edge.
Yeah, that's a bit of problem, and that's got to be corrected today, because those mistakes will be drive killers. They will be drive killers. We have to be able to protect, and also protect the you of the pocket. That's the thing. You can't get collapsed. You can't get collapsed because we don't have a 6'4" quarterback. So if we had a 6'4" quarterback, you might get a little more leeway on that. But we don't have a 6'4" quarterback. You know, our QB is, what do they got him listed today? They got what? He was 5'9" when he started. Now he's 5'10".
He's always been. What, 5'10"?
Yeah, he was listed at 5'9" when we started, but now he's 5'10". So we got to be able to keep that integrity of that pocket, so we can have those throwing lanes. So it's important that they have a good game this weekend.
Chuba Ma'ai, again, making a transition from defensive line to offensive line. Not easy to do and step right into a starting opportunity, but he has been able to do that. Let's hear from Chuba Ma'ai out of Long Beach Poly, one of the best high school programs in the country, on how he has quickly come over from the defense and been able to earn a starting job on offense.
Well, for me, first off, I just got to give a shout out to our coaches and my teammates. You know, all the guys on the O-line. They've made it, you know, so much easier for me, as far as just giving me a lot of tips and tricks for like little things, as far as like technique goes, and like just noticing little things. And shout out to Coach O, Coach Baker, Coach Stu. You know, those guys just taking time out of their day, extra time within their busy schedules to just sit me down and just really teach me like the ins and outs of all the plays, and just not even learning just my position, just learning what everybody has to do, and I'm just trying to take in as much information as I can, and just go out there and have fun, just leave it all out there.
Chuba, what has been fun for you just about making this transition, and how do you see it being different from defense to offense?
I mean, for me, just playing is fun, because at the end of the day, football is the sport we all fell in love with when we were a kid. So just being able to be out there on the field with my brothers is just, it's the funnest thing in the world to me. And as far as the difference, it's a lot different, because defense, you can have more of an individual impact, but on offense, you have to work more especially on the O-line, you have to work as a group, and you have to be selfless. Just do your job, like nothing more, nothing less. As long as you do your job, everybody does what Daggy calls up, then it's a victory at the end of the day, and just play hard too.
Handoff on first down, and he breaks it down the far sideline. He's at the 30. Can he beat his man? He's tripped up just inside the 20-yard line. Ismail Mahdi on first down from the 25, and a big hole on that left side.
Ooh, he hit that one. I mean, he turned on the Jets.
Yeah, what's that feeling like, kind of when you bend the seam back and you feel Ishmael behind you kind of rolling through for a big game? What's now that you're in that role, what's that feeling like when you look up and say, man, we got a big run out of this one?
Well, for me, it's just, I kind of just think about everybody else. It just makes me happy to see, just to look around, see Izzy running down the field, see all the boys chasing him, looking on the sideline, to see everybody celebrating, just that feeling of seeing everybody happy, all the hard work we put in, it pays off in those little moments, seeing everything go together, especially after the fact, when we come back and watch film, and just literally watching every little thing, this person, and just how all the pieces just connect together, and then you just see this wonderful masterpiece.
There you go.
Absolutely.
It's been a tough year for Chuba. He lost his father over the summer, and so he has obviously been dealing with that as well. But he said, just blessed to be out there with my guys and having a chance to contribute.
Yeah, I think that's a great. Oh, you got it. Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say what he was saying about how it feels when you see your running back going by you.
Right.
That is the greatest feeling. I mean, when I was O-line and when I played O-line, I played offensive tackle at Chabot College, and we had Junior Talatasi, who played for the Philadelphia Eagles, who's our running back, and he would just having him running through, and then he'd come back and he'd just be like, telling the O-line, let's go. We going, man. We won the Golden Gate Conference, and it's such a great feeling, man, because, you don't think that offensive linemen get that much credit, but they get credit from the boys in the backfield.
All right, let's take a look at what's happening around the rest of the country.
Let's take a look at what's happening today around the rest of the country. The Wildcats Radio 1290 Game Day Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, Arizona's leading injury law firm.
All right, let's start with what happened last night up north at the school up north in Tempe. Arizona State was down 17-0. They would tie the ball game. They would get a strip sack late and have a chance to put themselves ahead. They did, 27-24, and then TCU would have one final chance.
54, 53, 52 seconds left. Second down and 1. Hoover again looks to throw. Gets that pass off. Intercepted! Martell Hughes! And he goes down at the 27-yard line! Sweet Fancy Moses! Martell Hughes comes up with a potential game-clinching interception.
That was the call. Tim Healy on the Arizona State Sun Devils radio network. 27-24 the final as the Sun Devils take down the 24th-ranked Horned Frogs. Sam Levitt, 291 yards passing on 27 of 39. He had 2 TDs, both to Tyson, I should say. 8 catches for 126 yards, and their big bruising fullback out of Mater Dei High School, Raleek Brown, had a big ball game as well. 21 carries, 134 yards. That's a big rally. That's a big rally for them.
Yeah, he's a problem. Raleek Brown,
yeah.
He's a problem.
Yeah.
We're going to have to really get on him. But you know what? Arizona State's beatable, man. Mm-hmm. Arizona State's beatable.
They looked horrible through the first 30 minutes.
And TCU is same thing. This conference is loaded.
Well,
it's loaded. We might get 2 in the doggone in the playoffs.
We thought when we were looking at the schedule, we thought, Houston.
Yeah.
That might be an easy game.
No.
Not so much.
Yeah. Did they come back last night?
They did. Let's hear it.
Chance to win the ball game for Ethan Sanchez. Jake Sock with the hold. Jacob Garza with the snap. Ball down. Kick is up. And the kick is good! The Cougars win it 27-24 in overtime. It wasn't pretty, but they got the job done, and the Cougars go to 4-0 on the season. What a fourth quarter for this Cougar team. Down 24-10, and they get up off the deck.
Yeah, how about that? 27-24. Houston beats Oregon State. Now, again, Oregon State is 0-5. So, that program, unfortunately, with the fracture of the Pac-12, has not been able to get on solid footing. But still, Houston 4-0 on the season. And as of games today, Cincinnati goes into Kansas and wins 37-34 as well. Kansas State gets back on the winning trail. They beat UCF 34-20. So those games are final right now in the Big 12. 2 games in progress. Baylor is leading Oklahoma State 21-17. Oklahoma State, of course, firing their head coach this week, Mike Gundy, who had been the boss there in his 21st season. West Virginia, after their big win over Pitt, is really struggling. They lost at Ohio. They got blown out last week at Kansas, and now they're losing by 3 touchdowns at home to Utah today. So tough rowing that right now for Rich Rodriguez after that big win just a few weeks ago. 21-0. Utah has got the win, or got the lead right now, deep second quarter in Morgantown.
They must have some serious injury problems, man.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. Finals on the board in the top 25. Number 16, Georgia Tech beats Wake Forest by 1 on the road, 30-29. 18th ranked Vanderbilt over Utah State, 55-35. It was number 22, Notre Dame, 56. Arkansas, 13. Illinois had a big lead over USC. The Trojans came back to take the lead by 1, and then the Illinois Fighting Illini lined up for a game-winning kick at the end.
The snap, the hold, the kick, in the air, end over end, and it's good! It is good!
Yeah, after losing by 53 points last week, the Illini come back and beat USC at home. That's a disappointment there if you're a Trojan fan. All right, other games in progress. So right now, you've got Texas A&M number 9 leading Auburn 10-3. Iowa over Indiana right at the moment, 9-7. That's nearing the half. Mississippi State has a 7-3 lead at home over number 15 Tennessee. And number 1 Ohio State trailing at the moment near halftime at Washington, 3-0. The Huskies with the lead in that ball game. Yesterday, the Arizona volleyball team got a win to start Big 12 play over Kansas State. Let's hear from the head coach, Charita Stubbs, after a 3-1 win over the Purple Cats.
Your team being all in. Everyone contributed to this win tonight. How do you think about your team's performance?
We're super excited. The fact that we came in here in a hostile environment. This is our first time being here. Great crowd, but we just stepped up and we played. We stuck together as a team, and that's exactly what we're about, being all in.
In the third set, you're in a timeout. You said, foot on the gas, don't let up. How did you not let this environment affect your team?
We talked about it in advance. Kind of like I shared with you before, we don't hold anything back. We make sure that we talk about everything. We keep our foot on the gas, and we're in control. We just worry about our side.
Jordan Wilson didn't hold anything back. What did you think about her performance tonight?
I love Jordan. You know, she just has this gear that she just goes, and she doesn't hold anything back. She's not afraid. She loves this moment, so I'm super excited.
Congrats, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
There was Rita Stubbs with Chloe Smith from ESPN after the ball game. I'm sorry, Sophie Smith after the ball game there. So they'll play at Kansas tomorrow to wrap up that road trip. Soccer home against Oklahoma State over at Murphy Field Mulcahy Stadium at 11 a.m. as well tomorrow morning. That's a check of your scoreboard.
The Wildcats Radio 1290 Game Day Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, Arizona's leading injury law firm.
All right, it is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Much more still to come, along with Kelvin Efon and Glenn Howe. JW Madden on the boards. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Our Window Depot coverage of Arizona football continues. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 3 of the pregame show is brought to you by ABC Heating and Cooling, Arizona Commercial Lighting, Blue Sky Pest Control, Broadway and Tucson's 20th anniversary season, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, First Choice Pools, Goldberg and Osborne, The Injury Lawyers, Gospel Rescue Mission, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Shamrock Heating and Cooling, Showtime Sports Cards, Tucson Appliance Company, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put members' success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rocking K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rocking K, with home savings up to $25,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Uh-oh, another plumbing disaster. Don't panic. Call the pros at Acclaimed Drain and Plumbing Solutions. From clogged drains to full-blown repipe repairs, our expert team is fast, getting repipes done in one day. Reliable, professional, and always ready 24/7. When water won't behave, Acclaimed saves the day. Call 520-200-1089 or visit acclaimed-drain.com. Acclaimed Drain and Plumbing Solutions. Trusted, local, acclaimed.
Step into a world where rewards never end. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Every moment brings excitement. Every visit unlocks exclusive perks, free play, dining discounts, and more. From high-stakes action to luxurious experiences, your rewards grow with every play. Join today for endless benefits and unforgettable moments. Club Soul. Play more, earn more, experience more. Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Boscoyaki Tribe.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
Our Window Depot coverage of UA football continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end Glenn Howell, and the captain Calvin Efon.
3rd and 12 now from the Arizona 25. Wildcats showing pressure here. Johnson back to throw, has some time. Now he's smothered and sacked back at the 34-yard line. Woo. Well, you could see it coming, but the K-State Wildcats could not stop the Arizona Wildcats. It'll be 4th down. Boy, what a signature series there for the Arizona defense.
My goodness.
Trayton Stukes back and making a big play for the Arizona Wildcats in that win over Kansas State 2 weeks ago. That was really great to see. Let's hear from his compadre there on the back end of the defense, Genesis Smith, on seeing Trayton come back and make that play.
That's my guy. I was super happy to be out there with him. Wish he was out there more, but I know Gavin Hunter, he was going to hold it down. So, and Gav's really stepped up. So I'm proud of both of them, and I know we got a lot of dogs in the secondary.
That was great to see. I mean, again, that's a young man that he's not maybe playing. He's still coming back from the injury, but able to get back out there, and he showed a little bit of speed coming off the edge on that particular play right there. That was really fun to see Trayton make that play last week.
Absolutely, man. I mean, he's coming back. He's solidifying. Just having his leadership back there is what I think is more important than his play. You know, his play is going to be great, but his leadership of being back there and guys can be real. It just seems like there's a sense of calmness that is in that backfield of how they're playing. They're playing with purpose and I'm really happy to see that he's coming back and he's having fun too.
And Glenn, we really haven't talked about the availability report yet that began this week with the start of Big 12 play for Arizona. Anyway, there's 4 availability reports that come out each week in terms of guys that are available and guys that are not available for the games. You get the first one on Wednesday for a Saturday game. You get the first one on Wednesday. The next one on Thursday. You get one on Friday night, and then there'll be another one that'll come out 90 minutes before kickoff. So today, for us anyway, we'll get that last availability report just as we are leaving the air, and the network is taking over here in about a half an hour. But the big news was early in the week, Chuba Maya was on it as questionable. He is no longer on the injury report. We mentioned early in the show, Kedrick Reesino was also on there as questionable. He is no longer on the injury report. That was good. And the Wildcats have been without Trey Smith for the last few weeks. He was not on the availability report at all. So
That's what I like.
I would assume that he'll be back as well today.
That's what I like. That's the extra sauce right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a guy that they're going to have. He's a problem. Trey's a problem, and he's going to be a great asset of coming back on that defense with that rush in. Just keep on, another intensity, another a senior leader, a guy that has a lot of experience, and just really, but a senior. He's not a senior, right? He's a junior though, right?
Right.
He's a junior, but he's a senior leader because he's been out there before, and I think that's what's real important.
All right. Do I need an ID, J-Dub? Yes, let's pause here 10 seconds and allow station identification. You're listening to Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
Tucson, it's time to beat the book. Will the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at the numbers and find out how you should bet the book so you can beat the book. Bet the Book is sponsored by Casino del Sol. Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right. What do we got here? Everybody, I think, was a winner the last time out against Kansas State because we all took U of A and we all took the under. So everybody is even because we were all even the first week 1-1, even the second week 1-1, and then we went 2-0 the last time out. So that means everybody is 4-2 on the season. Today we've got Iowa State as a 4.5-point favorite over the Arizona Wildcats. Kelvin is not here. He said he, though, is taking Arizona and the 4.5 points in this game today. And it's interesting, Glenn, we talked earlier about how this is a team without their top two kickers. And I think this is going to be they play a lot of one-possession games. Mm-hmm. And I believe this is going to be a one-possession game today. So I'm inclined to take Arizona in those 4.5 points as well.
I'm right behind you, brother.
There you go. All right. So everybody is going to take the Wildcats and the 4.5 points today. Your over-under is 48.5. That's the lowest we've seen, I think, this season. It was 54.5 against Kansas State, 56.5, and then 54.5. So there's a belief that maybe this is going to be a low-scoring game tonight.
Yeah, I'm taking the under.
That's what Kelvin did.
Yep.
Kelvin took the under as well. So, we're all taking the same thing. So I guess I'm going to be the different guy. I'll take, since you guys both went under to try to see if we can break the tie here, I'll take the over in this game. I think we could see, I don't know if it's going to be a lot of scoring, but I still think it's going to be a game that could be in the mid to upper 20s, like 28, 27, something in that nature, which would be 56. Maybe even something more along the lines of 27, 24, which would be 51. So I'm going to take slightly over, I think, on this one here today in terms of that. Yeah, so I'm going to go over while everybody else goes under. U of A plus 4.5, that's the call there. Glenn and Kelvin take the under. DK takes the over. Can we beat the book? We'll find out after the game.
That is how you bet the book so you can beat the book. Bet the Book is sponsored by Casino del Sol. Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right, let's hear from your defensive coordinator, Danny Gonzalez, as we haven't talked about the tight ends, Glenn, yet, as he breaks down the tight ends and the rest of the offense here.
They're built off of 12 and 13 personnel. They'll spend a little bit of time in 11 and put some wideouts out there. They just graduated 2 NFL wideouts in the NFL that are phenomenal players that Beck was throwing the ball to last year. Your best coaches use your best talent, what you have. It's like how I talked about during the season, people are going to be a 3-3-5 team. We're going to be whatever our best personnel is on the field. Sometimes we'll be 4 linebackers, 2 D linemen. Some line, we were talking today, we got 1 D lineman, 10 line. I mean, all that stuff that we've got opportunities at. Okay. The tight ends, that's what they built their program around. Gabe Burkle, 84, like that dude will violently try and kill you like an old lineman. And then Benjamin Bauer, number 18, like he's their receiving tight end. But like that dude will try and rip your face off when they block you. So they create extra gaps with 12 personnel. So a great challenge. I mean, we're going to have to put extra people in those gaps to make sure that we cancel them and that they can't run the ball. I mean, take away the run. That's the best thing to do. They're going to try and pound it down our tail. There are 2 running backs, Carson Heck and 24 Abu. Those 2 guys are like linebackers at running back. They're big. They'll get in some Wildcat stuff, which we will see for sure because of the way we handle Jace Brown. And they'll give us different looks. They have a couple 300 yards. I mean, they're just under 300 yards for the season. So they got 2 guys that are going to be a chance at being 1,000-yard backs in the same backfield. Freaking phenomenal. Okay. And then you got Xavier Townsend, the transfer from UCF, where they'll put him in the backfield like Jace Brown. I think he's very similar to Jace Brown with what they do with him and how they move him around. And then number 9, Brett, and I don't want to ruin his name because it's kind of spelled, it's like Eiklinson or however, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I should have probably looked it up. But that dude is like a 10-600-meter guy, will take it over the top and just is so vigilant with his routes and how he plays. And then on the perimeter, those guys block their tails off. And then they got 6'5" receivers that they'll throw down there in the red zone, and they throw it to their 6'7" and 6'5" tight ends. I mean, Gabe Burkle is 6'7", Benjamin Bauer 6'6". So like they're gigantic across the board. So the challenge that we have, I mean, one, they've got a program that they're fighting for the championship. They were in the championship last year every single year, like what we're trying to aspire to build. So the biggest thing is it's a faceless opponent. Like I know I just mentioned off everything about their offense, but like it doesn't matter who we play. It's the University of Arizona that has to stop from beating the University of Arizona. We can't line up off sides and have your dumbass defense coordinator pop a timeout. We can't hold on offense when we're tired. We can't make mistakes on special teams. Like the University of Arizona fixes the University of Arizona. That's our worst enemy. And then take on the faceless opponent, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I love what he says there in terms of, hey, yeah, we know that this is a team and they've got talent and they're good, but we can't worry about that. We've just got to look at them as any other team. Whether it's Weber State or Iowa State, we've got to prepare to do what we know that we can do, no matter who the opponent is.
Execution. That's what it is. Execute the game plan, understand assignment and alignment, and play 100 miles an hour. Yeah. Red line. Just play 100 miles an hour. When you know those 2 things.
They got you talking red line. Now.
Yes. Now, if you know those things, your assignment and your alignment, you get in your stance and you can get after it. But if you're questioning, is this the right alignment? Is this the right play that I'm going to be? Do I do this on this play? If you do that, that's when you have problems. That's when you get. And I think that these guys the coaches have really done a excellent job of really breaking it down into simple things of how you're playing this game, how we're going to play this game, how we're going to do. What is our strategy of beating Iowa State, and what they did last week with Kansas, with a couple weeks ago against Kansas State, they just executed, and that's what they have to do today.
All right, let's find out who that cyclone is going to lift the roof off the Wildcats today.
Who is the pest that the Wildcats need to be free from to win today's game? The Pest of the Game is brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Pest control with science. In Tucson at essentialpest.com.
All right, Kelvin Ifan is going with Cooper Ebel, 6'4" linebacker junior, 18 consecutive starts for this team. Last year, he was 3rd on the team in tackles. Cooper Ebel is the pest for Kelvin. I'm going with the guy that's their star, and meaning star is in the star position, and that is Marcus Neal. This is a guy I think is going to be, he's kind of their version of Genesis Smith, a guy that's all over the field, leads the team in tackles, has a sack already, can break up passes in the back end. This is a guy that number 31, keep your eye on number 31 on defense. Marcus Neal. That's my pest of the game today.
Dave, do you really even have to ask? Okay. The leading receiver. How many times have we seen the leading receiver on the team?
I know you're going to go with the tight end,
yes.
right?
How many times have we seen the leading receiver with 14 grabs? Leading the team in receptions is the tight end.
Yeah.
Benjamin Brahmer.
Brahmer.
6'7". Remember that. 6'7", 255. I think he's going to be a problem inside the 20. I think they're going to try to go with them. They have, like they said, they go 11, 12, 13 personnel. They do a lot with the tight end, and I think this guy's going to be a problem. But I think that we can maybe handle him because I have confidence in our free safeties and our linebackers. They're much better. We have linebackers this year. You know that?
Right.
Did you know that we have linebackers?
We do.
Yeah, we have linebackers that actually produce, and I'm really excited about what they're going to be able to do today. But I still think that Benjamin's going to be a little bit of a problem.
All right, that's actually Benjamin Bramer. Bramer is his name.
Bramer.
Ben Bramer.
Yeah.
All right, number 18. Keep an eye on him. Those are the guys we think could lift the roof off the Wildcats today.
That's our best of the game. Brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Pest control with science. In Tucson at EssentialPest.com.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or RoyalKia.com.
Hi, this is Peter Costa, former governor of the New York Stock Exchange and proud member of the Advisory Business Council with Meridian Wealth Management. One thing I've learned over 40 years on the floor is the value of a trusting relationship with your financial advisor. After all, everyone is a genius when the markets are going up, but when they drop, that's when the guidance of a professional is most important. For more information about Meridian, call 719-1433 or visit online at meridianwealthllc.com.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
ABC Water and Air, your local comfort experts. Proudly serving Tucson and surrounding areas with HVAC and plumbing services you can trust. Fast, affordable, and reliable. Got a breakdown? They guarantee service within 24 hours. From AC tune-ups to plumbing inspections and duct cleaning, they've got you covered. Ask them about their True Tune-Up Gold Package. It's more than just a checkup. Call 520-812-1597 or visit abcwaterair.com. ABC Water and Air, always bringing comfort.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
They say that living a life of recovery isn't entirely about sobriety. It's more about community and staying connected. At Gospel Rescue Mission, we provide a new supportive community, a safe place to heal and grow.
Hi, my name is Michael. Because of your help and the community I found, I am now 9 years sober and living the life I never imagined.
Your support of Gospel Rescue Mission helps someone stay connected, stay sober, and stay alive. Go to grmtucson.com.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Whether you're new to Arizona or you've been driving here for decades, you're driving in the world's largest video game. Stopping, starting, turning, heating up, and cooling down. And that's just your afternoon commute. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care's 14 award-winning locations have been helping drivers just like you get home safely for over 60 years. With top quality tire brands, no hidden extras, and one low price. Jack Furrier has everything you need to stay in the game. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
So hot. Hi, can I help you?
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought, this AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care. A proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Our Window Depot coverage of UA football continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end, Glenn Howell, and the captain, Calvin Efon.
Fita puts Watley in motion. Right to left now, reverses back far side. Noah will take the snap, back to throw, has some time, fires the pass, and it's caught. First down at the 5. Watley's got it. First and goal, Arizona.
Great throw by Noah Fafita, and that pass had to be perfect because it was tight coverage, and Noah Fafita on a quick slant to Watley puts it right on the money.
That was my favorite play, one of my favorite offensive plays from the game against Kansas State. 4th and 3 in the red zone, and they went for it. And, I mean, Noah put that ball on a dime, and you heard Brian's call. They sent Javen Watley in motion, and he started in the slot. They sent him in motion left. They brought him back right. And I asked, let's hear from Seth Dagey. I asked Seth Dagey just kind of what he liked about that play and how the motion set that play up.
I mean, obviously, 2 players making plays. Like, those are – 2 of our better players that we feel very confident about. We prepped that. We knew if we were going to get a 4th and 3 to a 4th and 4 call, that was going to be my call. So I stayed with it. We did a little motion knowing that we're going to get man to try to soften, the little orbit motion to soften the coverage a little bit just to give us a little room. And I thought Noah did a great job of putting it on his chest. And honestly, Nunu had no other choice but to catch it. But they executed it perfectly. I mean, we didn't get a ton of reps at it, when it comes to a situational play like that, because, but it was a base play that we have. It was just a little bit of flavor to it with a little motion. So we've executed that play over and over and over. And going to that, I felt very confident we were going to make that throw and that catch. So I was proud of them.
Seth, you mentioned the motion softens the coverage, but it looked like they basically came back to the same defensive set. But I guess, where is that softening? How would you explain that?
Yeah, so, I knew it was going to be man, and instead of just letting us, obviously sitting at the sticks, it's 4th and 3, so that if you're going to run a slant, the guy's not going to back up at all. But if you could motion a little bit just to get him off his spot a little bit, and he's got to think about, okay, what's coming now versus, just sitting there knowing I got leverage, and it protects the leverage. So maybe he was slightly inside. Well, you motion, does he get slightly head up? So now you have a little bit better advantage coming in on a slant like that. And so I felt like it, like I said, it was something we prepped through the week. I felt really strong about it. And it's, like I said, it's like kind of a day one play for us. We just put a little flavor on it to try to give us the best advantage.
Glenn, people see motion, but they don't necessarily always know what that motion is designed to do.
That's the small little details, man.
Right.
That's the small little things that make a play happen. And that's great that our kids are knowing that. Our guys are knowing that, okay, if I go in motion, he may, if he wasn't in motion, he'll play inside leverage.
Right.
But if he gets the motion, he's gonna soften a little bit. So now I'm going to have a little bit bigger of a window to throw the ball. And you notice something that is happening, and I don't want to jinx, but I'm going to say it, is that Noah's throwing the ball better this year. He's throwing the ball better. I think it's because he's comfortable in what he's seeing and what he's doing. I think he likes the things that he's doing. He's comfortable with it, and that's why he's throwing the ball with more confidence.
And I'll tell you one thing he likes. He likes Seth Dagey.
I've been blessed to have a lot of great offensive coordinators, and I think where Coach Dagey's different is his mentality and his mindset. He has a certain type of aura and energy around him that I probably haven't really seen before, and it's genuine and it's consistent. So I felt it when he was trying to recruit me and pitch me to stay, and then it hasn't changed since.
And when you like your coach,
Yeah.
you want to please your coach.
There you go.
You want to please your coach. You want your coach to be happy when he goes into his staff meeting with all the other coaches. damn, Seth, you're doing a good job with Noah. You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. Your guys are doing good. Coaches love that. Because you know what my coach used to say? You're taking food off my table.
Mm-hmm.
If you messing up, you're taking food off my table. I'm like, what are you talking about, Coach? He goes, I'm going to get fired. I want to go into the team meeting with the offensive staff. I want to say, man, your tight ends are playing good. You're playing good. And you know what? That took a little bit. That got to me a little bit. Said, man, I want to make Coach look good. That's a good thing when you like your coach, man. That's a good thing.
What does Arizona have to do to win today? Let's tell you now.
Wildcats fans, what are the big keys for today's game? Our keys to the game are brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive Group, the dealership that is different.
All right, keys to the game time. We will not hear from, obviously, Kelvin on that. But, Glenn, what do you have as what the Wildcats need to do to win today?
Man, I'm going to go with the steady diet. We got to run the ball. Run the ball. We run the ball, grind the clock, make sure that we put pressure on Beck, that he has to throw the ball to come back. If we take possession, value possessions, I think possessions are going to be very, very important today. Every possession we have to do, we got to try to score. We got to score. And inside the 20, if we're inside the 20, we get inside the 20, we got to get 6. We got to get 6. We can't settle for 3. If we get inside the 20 4 times and we get 1 score, 2 score, we're losing the game. We have to be able to score inside. Defensive side of the ball, make sure that when we are blitzing back, we're getting the coverage, making sure our coverage is good when we're blitzing. That's got to do. Get pressure on him and stop their run. Force them to pass the ball, and then on special teams, we got to be able to if we have to make the field goals, make the field goals. We have to be able to do that and be able to punt the ball and no big plays on special teams.
Yeah, clean special teams is going to be key in this game because I think you have an advantage there with them not having any kickers. So if you can be clean in special teams, I think that's going to give you an advantage to win today. You mentioned obviously the
cut down on the penalties.
Yes, well,
the holding penalties.
Exactly.
That's going to be a key.
Because
keep your hands inside.
Because going back to that fourth and 3 play that they made, it gave them a first down at the 3-yard line, but a bad offensive play and then a penalty put them back behind the sticks, and they only settled for 3 there. Like you mentioned, you got to get touchdowns when you get to the red zone, so keeping the penalties down is going to be key for that. And I think defensively, this is the game where you're going to have to stop the run. You're going to have to really be – this is a physical team in Iowa State. We mentioned the tight ends, that they can catch the ball, but as you heard Danny Gonzalez say, they'll rip your face off too.
Yeah.
They can block, so I think being physical in this game, that dominant force contact is going to be important because you've got to be able to stop the run in this. If you let Carson Harrison get going up the middle, that's going to be a problem in this ball game because he's a guy that can run for 100 yards, and Carson Hansen, and you don't want that to happen in this ball game. So stop the run, limit the penalties, and be clean in the special teams. To me, I think those are the things the Wildcats need to do to win today in Ames, Iowa.
Those are our keys for today's game. The keys to the game. Brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive Group, the dealership that is different.
All right, final thoughts, Glenn. How you couldn't sleep because you can't wait to watch how we're going to defend these tight ends today.
Yeah, I'm just excited about this game. I got a good feeling that we can win this game because everybody else thinks that we can't.
Yeah.
Everybody else thinks that we can't.
None of the guys on game day picked us.
No, nobody picked us. Nobody's going to pick us. Everybody, I mean, all the stuff I was reading one time that one of these guys, they were picking us to get blown out. Okay? I think that we can win this game. If we play a clean game, we can do this.
There you go. I think, again, it's going to – when you look at this Iowa State team, yes, they're 4-0, but I'm not sure that they've really beaten anybody. I mean, they beat Kansas State, but, again, Kansas State won today. But how good is Kansas State? They didn't maybe look as good as we thought they were going to be. They beat an Iowa team at home, but how good is Iowa? Iowa's not probably one of the top upper echelon teams in the Big Ten, and they was a one-score game at Arkansas State. Now, and don't I lived in that part of the country, so I know Arkansas. That's a good program.
Right.
That's a good program, but you would think Iowa State still would win by more than 10 points in that respect. So
absolutely,
we'll see how it all transpires today. All right, that's going to wrap up our program. Thanks to J.W. Madden. Thanks to Kelvin Efon as well, Glenn Howe, Will Ray Fontenot, Willie Tuitama for joining us. My name is David Kelly. Coming up next, it is the Arizona Sports Enterprises Countdown to Kickoff show with Brody Dryden and Kyle Quinn. They'll take you up to kickoff at 4 o'clock with Brian Jeffries, Lamont Lovett, and Mackenzie Hamilton. Enjoy the game. We'll talk to you afterward. Bear down, Arizona.
Your local comfort experts, proudly serving Tucson and surrounding areas with HVAC and plumbing services you can trust. Fast, affordable, and reliable. Got a breakdown? They guarantee service within 24 hours. From AC tune-ups to plumbing inspections and duct cleaning, they've got you covered. Ask them about their True Tune-Up Gold Package. It's more than just a checkup. Call 520-812-1597 or visit abcwaterair.com. ABC Water and Air, always bringing comfort.
Do you trust those in charge of your financial future? Trust is founded on 3 core principles: competence, honesty, and benevolence. Those making decisions about your financial future should always place your best interest ahead of their own. I'm Natalie Fernandez-Lee, and at Meridian Wealth Management, fostering trusted relationships with our clients is our top priority. Call us at 719-1433 or visit meridianwealthllc.com to learn more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' Cay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rockin' Cay. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
The future of fun is here at O'Reilly Chevrolet. We've got EV Blazer, EV Equinox, and EV Silverado in stock now with instant acceleration, 0 gas, and lower maintenance costs. Act fast. Federal incentives end September 30th. Visit us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or go to O'Reilly.com. Chevy EVs are here, and the future is electric. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Thorna Ogden Nation.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at CoolWillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. CoolWillies.com.
ABC Water and Air, your local comfort experts. Proudly serving Tucson and surrounding areas with HVAC and plumbing services you can trust. Fast, affordable, and reliable. Got a breakdown? They guarantee service within 24 hours. From AC tune-ups to plumbing inspections and duct cleaning, they've got you covered. Ask them about their True Tune-Up Gold Package. It's more than just a checkup. Call 520-812-1597 or visit abcwaterandair.com. ABC Water and Air, always bringing comfort.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Whether you're new to Arizona or you've been driving here for decades, you're driving in the world's largest video game. Stopping, starting, turning, heating up, and cooling down. And that's just your afternoon commute. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care's 14 award-winning locations have been helping drivers just like you get home safely for over 60 years. With top quality tire brands, no hidden extras, and one low price. Jack Furrier has everything you need to stay in the game. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
University of Arizona Wildcat football is on the air. Stay tuned for a complete preview of today's game. You'll hear from Wildcat players and head coach Brent Brennan. Scores from around the Big 12 and college football. Insights into today's matchup and much more. Now, alongside all-time Wildcat Kyle Quinn, here's your host, Brody Dryden.
We are 90 minutes from kickoff in Ames. Good evening and welcome to the Arizona Football Countdown to Kickoff alongside former Arizona Wildcat Kyle Quinn. I'm Brody Dryden and we are excited to preview tonight's matchup between the Arizona Wildcats and the 14th ranked Iowa State Cyclones. Tonight will be the first matchup between these two schools since 1968. Kyle, that's 57 years since the last time these two programs met. They're both undefeated